welcome to the Keepers of the House of Light. My name is Uriah Ben Israel.
Obadiah ben Israel.
Praise and
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
Shalom.
Elder.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Praise Yah.
How was everything, Deacon?
Oh man, praise Yah, my Elder. They it's been a it's been a good week. Trying, but it's been a good week, man. So praise Yah. Praise Yah for trials, Praise Yah for
Praise yeah.
trials,
Hey,
Let us know
by
we're
saying
still
that,
alive. Yeah,
yeah, but by saying that we're in the right book, the book of Job.
that's right.
We
Mm,
have seen all the trial that the brother is going through. And
mm,
yeah, so we just have to take it day by day, each and every day, and continue to
yes,
lift
sir.
up our hands, and and pray. Yahweh forgive us, but we do thank Him, for another Shabbat, that He allow us to be before
Mm,
Him today. So we praise Yahweh, and we also want to say, you all are welcome, everyone to this podium, and cause we are just vessels. We are just here, to deliver, the Most High Yah words to His people. So praise Yahweh once again.
mm, praise Yah.
Um, praise Yah. But who are we? We are the keepers of the house of light, are dedicated to spreading the righteousness, love, mercy, and forgiveness of our Father Yahweh Elohim of hosts by and through His Son Yeshua, the Messiah, the Lamb of Yahweh, the King of Israel, the high priest, and our Redeemer and Savior, whose name is blessed forever. We are here to teach and
Mm,
proclaim the gospel of Yeshua, who magnify the
mm,
law of Yahweh. So with Him calling us here today, and we see how His Son magnified the law of Yahweh. So we sitting here, we're
that's right.
trying to do the same thing too, to glorify the Father,
Mm,
to magnify the Father, do the things that He asks us to do today. And last week, we enjoy, we've been enjoying for weeks now the book of Job, because
praise
this is an
Yah.
everyday life. Praise ya, Deacon. This is an everyday life thing, and we have to take each experience seriously, because when we all go through our ordeal, you know, we consider and the things that we are going through. We also try to figure it out what's going on, and it takes a little time. But we praise Yahweh that we're here, and you all are welcome, to this platform. Members, families, strangers, you all are welcome. All nation are welcome. You know, in the house of
Praise Yah.
of Yahweh. So we praise Yah once again. Well, at this time, what I would like to do is to turn it over to the deacon so you can take care of the pre-class.
Praise Yah, Elder. The also our elder Yehuda is not here with us today, so we just ask that the family just keep him in prayer, and Yah's will he'll be returning back next week. But the we're going to begin the pre-class reading in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6. We're going to read verses 4 and 5, and this is what we call the Shema, which derives from the Hebrew word shamar, which means to listen or to obey. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim is one Adonai, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
We're going to jump over to the gospel. Indeed. We're going to jump to the gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, and we're going to pick it up at verse 34. My elder, you were talking when you were reading the introduction, and you were saying that we're dedicated to spreading the righteousness and the forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
and proclaiming the gospel of Yeshua HaMashiach. And we know that the gospel was the good news, and the good news was that Yeshua sent his son to redeem the children of Israel back to him. So, we rejoice in these things. A lot of people, they say we have a category of music they call gospel music, but have left off of the actual meaning of what the gospel was. The good news was that Yeshua was sent to redeem his people back to Yahweh, you know, because if they weren't saved, nobody could be saved. So we praise Yah for these things. So we're going to read from verses 34 to verse 40. Verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempted him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Praise,
Praise Yahweh.
praise, yeah.
We say Yeshua said this is the first and great commandment. And we have people who don't even esteem Yahweh's commandments and His law that was sent, understanding that these things came from heaven, my elder, and is holy. Yeshua said this is a great commandment, and on these two hang all the law and the prophets. So we see there's a disconnect with the understanding when people have said that we don't have to keep Yahweh's law. This is truly a folly. There's folly in this thinking. Yeah.
Praise, yeah.
We're going to stay in the Gospel of Matthew. Praise Yah, my elder. We're going to stay in the Gospel of Matthew, and we're going to go to chapter 18 and read one verse, verse 20. Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Praise Yah.
Praise, yeah.
And we're going to go to the prophet Isaiah, chapter 58. We're going to read verses 13 and 14. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Shabbat, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Shabbat a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh. And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. Praise Yah.
Praise, yeah. Praise, yeah.
And that's going to end the pre-class reading. Turn it back over to you, my elder.
Hey, thank you so much, Deacon, for the pre-class and your commentary, because, you know, a lot of us don't know the real purpose of why he came, why the Messiah came. And you have outlaid that, it's to redeem Israel, because Israel going to be the forefront of all the nation that is on the earth. They are the leader. They're supposed to teach the law and everything else, the commandment, everything that Yahweh put forward. And,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he did not, came to change anything. So, as what the deacon said, why are we disregarding, the law? That means there's lacking of understanding. And, so if we listen carefully and some more, so deacon, I appreciate that commentary again. And, we praise Yahweh for praise Yahweh, for each and every one that he assigned to this body and our elder
Praise Yah.
too. And the deacon mentioned before that our elder, I think maybe if he get the chance, he's going to be joining on with us today. But at any point, we pray Yahweh keep him safe out there, and be with us as early as possible, as Yahweh allowing to. It's not, our control. Sometimes Yahweh have given us different, job to do, and we have to carry them out one way or the other. Yahweh is always in
Mm.
control, so we praise Yahweh. We praise, Yahweh, and we trust in Him, and all of us should do the same. Should do the same. Trust in Him, and that
Mm.
He will provide everything that we need. So praise Yahweh once again, and once again also
Praise Yahweh.
Shabbat Shalom. You know, praise Yah. Shabbat Shalom. To all those that are joining us today, and we hope you get something from this class. As always, we know you receive something, but we're hoping it's for the good and applied to your daily lives, because that is so important. Because through your walk, you know they're gonna recognize you that, hey man, I saw the guy last week. Man,
Mm.
yeah, he's walking
Mm.
righteously. I'm gonna approach him. Hey brother, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I've
Mm.
seen a change, a beautiful change in you. Or a sister. It don't have to be a brother, but
Mm.
and or a sister in their walk. And that's so important for you, to go and say, I love what you're doing, continue what you're doing, and hope, you can share your experience, with me someday. So we praise Yahweh for that, because
Mm.
these things that we are learning, today or any other day out of this book, it's important that we don't keep it to ourselves. We don't want to be like that unprofitable
Mm.
servant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
those that receive the gift and try to keep it only to themselves. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, you have
Mm.
to. Yep, yeah, we
Praise
all
Yah.
have to praise. Yeah, we all have to spread that good news. And before we started, I think we have a slight um, little issues, technical issue, but so bear with us too. We're doing the best we can, what provided, unto us, and hope Yahweh, you know, allow us to overcome that obstacle that is in our way, and allow this message to reach each and every one that needed, this information. So praise Yahweh once again.
Praise Yah.
Um, praise Yah. We're in the book. Oh
Mm.
man, this story, Job. We're in the book of Job. And I think we got last week
Mm.
we stopped at what chapter 29.
Yes, sir. Supposed
Yeah,
to
and we're
pick it
gonna
up
pick
at
30.
30. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And could you repeat
Yes,
repeat
sir,
the
man of God.
title, Deacon?
Yes, sir. Today's title of the class, or today's class, is entitled The Testimony of Job, Testing, Trials, and Faith. And this is part 6. Praise Yah.
Praise yeah. You know, it's so many parts, but there's so many scenario in it which we can apply to our life, and we should do that, with all our heart. And as we move on to chapter, let me get to chapter 30. As we move on to chapter 30, we have seen the previous chapter that we have read, where we need to seek, after this wisdom, because it's so important, because we cannot get
Mm-hmm.
understanding, yeah, if we don't receive this wisdom. So we praise Yahweh once again. So whenever you're ready, Deacon, or if you want to elaborate a little bit more, the previous class last week.
Oh yeah, the
Mhm.
we can pick it up in chapter 30. You had said something earlier in your intro, Elder, about if we see a brother or a sister
Mhm.
doing, like, walking in their walk, and you mentioned something about, and what I received from that is encouragement.
That's right.
you know we're seeing a situation with Job going through something, and his brothers do not know how to encourage him. There's a lot that can be gained from Job. When you separate just the book of Job, you see Job going through his trials, but you also see his brothers coming, and his brothers, when we get to the end of the story, we're going to see how Yahweh looked at that whole situation and how his brothers entreated him, and the whole scenario. And so there's a lot that we can gain from that, not just Job going through his trials, but when someone is going through trials, how do we embrace them and how do we deal with them? Do we judge them as the manner that Job's friends are judging him? I mean, we're reading Job is going through it. His brothers are telling him, hey man, you wicked, you a sinner, you a hypocrite, you've been doing this, you must have been doing something, Job. And so I think that there's a lot that we can gain from that, a lot of things that we can learn to do and not to do. You always put this story, the fact that he recorded this, there's so much to gain, not just Job's trial, but also how do we look at people when they're going through trials, and how do we embrace our brothers when they're going through trials. And so praise y'all for that commentary that you gave. There's a lot that we can gain from it. That's why it's so important to read. That's why I receive. It's so important to read because you could have a perspective based off of what someone said, but when you read for yourself, Yahweh can allow you to see. There's multiple sides to a story. It's not just one. And Yahweh, at the end of the day, he recorded these things for our good and for our benefit. So it's all to His glory and to our edification. So yeah, praise Yahweh.
Praise
Praise
you,
Yah.
Deacon. Thank you.
So we got we're in chapter 30, my
Mm-hmm.
brother. We're gonna go to pick this up here.
Yeah, because we're gonna see, Job continues with his answers. you know, it's
Mm,
like from the get go, it's like a back and forth thing. You said this, the one side, then the other
mm,
side. Oh, no, it's like they're baffled over the whole scenario, and it's like Yahweh haven't opened their eyes on both parties, for them to see what's going on. But as what the deacon state, yeah, afterward everything gonna reveal unto us. So praise Yahweh for this beautiful story.
praise Yah. Post this link real quick, Pilot. All right. So we're in the book of Job, chapter 30. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. Job, chapter 30, verse 1. But now this is Job's answer. This is his eighth answer. He was answering Eliphaz.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me? In whom old age was perished. Famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And now their song, yea, their byword. They abhor me. They flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face.
Mm.
Because he has loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me. Hmm.
Deacon, it's a hard
Upon my,
situation. No,
yeah,
yeah, I was saying before, Deacon, it's a hard situation, to be in this condition where the tables have turned, on
hmm,
Job.
hmm,
You were riding very high. No,
hmm,
you're not riding that high. Whatever the situation or the cause may be, but I'm just trying to say, so you all have to beware, especially when you're high. I'm not saying Job, is doing something wrong here. No, but the tables are turned, and we're gonna see what's going on. So continue, unless you wanna say something, Deacon.
oh no, praise God. Verse 12. Upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet, and they raise up against me the ways of their destruction. They mar my path. They set forward my calamity. They have no helper. They came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. And now my soul is poured out upon me. The days of affliction have taken hold upon me. My
Mm-hmm.
bones are pierced in me in the night season, and my sinews take no rest, or my flesh takes no rest. By the great force of my disease is my garment changed. It bindeth me about as the collar of my coat. He has cast me into the mire, and I am become like dust and ashes. I cry unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest me not. Thou art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand thou oppressest thyself against me. Thou
Mm.
liftest up.
You, you know,
Mm,
Deacon, stick a pin right there.
yes,
Verse
sir.
20, I cried unto thee, and thou dost not hear me. I stand up, and thou regardest not me. Thou
Mm-hmm.
art become cruel to me. With thy strong hand, thou opposest thyself against me. What's going on? What Job is saying right here? You know, I mean, you're saying is the creator don't have the right to do whatever he wants to do? He's the potter. He can do whatever he
Mm-hmm.
wants to do. It doesn't matter how you think or righteous you are, you know. And look what he have done to his own son. He put him on the cross. And even when
See?
his son is crying out, Father, who haven't done anything that is wrong or haven't committed any sin, he said, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it pleased Yahweh to bruise his son. Because he sent his son into the world to do
See?
one thing, to save his people. So Yahweh, have that option to do whatever it please. It maybe seems unreasonable unto you, what he want to put you through. Because I mean, look at it. He sent his son to crucify for Israel. No, Israel is been crucified, for the world, for the rest of the nation and the world. So these are examples, these
Mm-hmm.
are scenarios, or occasion which Yahweh is using, to teach our people that He is in control at all time. Praise God. I want to say some more things, but
That's
hold
right.
it for a second more. So you can continue if you want to elaborate a little bit more.
Mm.
Or you can continue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Yahweh is sovereign, and this is what he's showing. He's
Mm-hmm.
sovereign. And we're going to see when Yahweh replies that he's going to declare his sovereignty and declare his magnificence, and showing that he does as he pleases, So this is why he say, your thoughts are not my thoughts. So like, but we know Job is also standing firm. So I mean, that's a catch 20 now. How do you so when you look at the situation, you see Job is defending himself because he's being accused against his brothers. So, but then he's saying, is he saying, he says, you are become cruel to me. And he's seeing the wrath that Yahweh's put upon him, but he has to accept it. And so there's nothing that he can do to get around that. But also the other part is, so should he conform to what his brothers are saying? Should he say, yeah, I'm just wicked. I'm a hypocrite. I mean, so should he lie and say that that's what he was doing? Because that's what his friends want him to say. Because at the end of it, we're going to see Yahweh going to tell them, say, y'all ain't speak right by me. That's not, the things you spoke of me is not that's not how I was thinking, you know. Job, but he had a different purpose for Job. So it's like you say, it's so much that we can glean from this. It's like it's so many lessons that we can take. The When we're going through trials, we have to acknowledge that if Yahweh sees fit for us to go something through something, He doesn't have to explain anything to us, and it's to keep us humble, to show us, like when He created the earth, where were we? We weren't. He didn't ask us and inquire us, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this law? You think I should put it this way, or should I word it this way? He didn't ask. He declared it, and if a man doesn't accept it, then that's his issue that he's going to run against, because he can't change what's written. So yeah, this is it's like a catch 22. Praise God indeed.
you, you
We had
know
a comment, Elder. Uh,
okay.
go ahead, Elder.
No, I was gonna say
Go
you
ahead, and then I'll read
mentioned,
the comment after.
yeah, you mentioned certain things before, like you know, my thought could I go away, before, but you know, it's gonna pop up later on what you have just stated, with Job,
Mm,
what pretty much what's going on. I'm not worthy, but we have the mindset that what we learn in the commandments, that he's going to be performing these things, and if not, then he's going to do something else. So it kind of buffle Job a lot. Why all these things is coming up on me? You're not even answering me. What's going on? Are you going against your commandment? What we have learned, in the Torah. I think go to the Torah 1 second. Go to the book of Deuteronomy, Deacon. What he said would happen. Deuteronomy 28, because that is so important. Because we have the mindset that, if we conform ourselves to the commandment, then we don't have to worry about anything. And we're talking about the condition of the blessing.
hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I
You
really
said
don't want to
Deuteronomy,
read.
which
Just
chapter,
read
Elder?
chapter 28. We're talking about the blessing
20. Oh, okay.
and
The blessings and the
yeah,
curses. Mm.
the blessing and the curse. We don't have. You can pick it up from verse 1. Yeah, take it. There's a couple of verses because we know we have a lot to read in Job.
Yes, sir. All right, just let me know when to
Yeah.
stop, Elder. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy Elohim will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. And all these
Mm-hmm.
blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if you shall hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim. Blessed shall you be in the city, and blessed shall you be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be your basket and your store. Blessed shall you be when you comest in, and blessed shall you be when you goest out.
You can stop there,
Yahweh shall
because
cause.
no,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you can stop because you get the gist, and you can take it, not us, but the rest of the audience. They can take it all the way back to all the way down to 14. Now we see and we have that
Mm-hmm.
mindset that if we do right, if when I said right, if we follow the commandment of Yahweh, he's gonna be blessing us. There's no doubt
Mm-hmm.
about that. But there's understanding behind what he's saying. You understand? Because he not only want to save you, so he allows sometimes the righteous to go through their ordeal too, to paint a
Mm-hmm.
nice little picture so you can understand and say, oh, something is wrong or something is not wrong. What can I do? What I should do? So it paints a picture for us. And so don't ever have that mindset because you're walking according to the law. Because just walking, what is it about just doing the law?
I'm an unprofitable servant. I just did that which was
Bing-
commanded of me. Yeah.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. So it become mechanical unto you. So it's
Mm,
nothing you're doing from the heart. Okay? So now you have to do some things outside of the commandment to elevate yourself, which now you take the spiritual side of the law, because there's more to the law more than what is written in this book or in the Torah. There's
mm,
more to, there's no end to Yahweh. He's spiritual, and you have to worship him, and serve him that way. No
mm-hmm.
other way. It's not a mechanical situation. Okay? So, so that mindset that all of us have, like, if I do right, I'm supposed to be blessed with $1 million. I'm supposed to be blessed, with a beautiful home. We're supposed to be blessed. But sometimes blessing you is to restrain from you having all those things, because Yahweh know the end from the beginning, or from the beginning from the end. He know if you give, you $1 million, oh man, what would you do with it? So that thing will take you away from the Father. So sometimes when he refused to give you certain blessing, it's because he want to save you. And that's the bottom line. So praise Yah. So if you
Praise
want
that.
to add, praise Yah, you're going to go back to Job, Deacon, you can.
Yeah, we had a comment
Mm-hmm.
elder, our sister Pam. She said
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we as men try to why figure out the why to our trials
Mm-hmm.
instead of praying for wisdom to see the testimony in the test. See, Job has a testimony that he's going to be able to share after he goes through this experience. But he
Mm-hmm.
got to go through the experience. And so he's going through the motions and Yahweh's recording it. That's the beauty of it being. He said, "Oh, that my words were recorded in a book." And Yahweh recorded it. So we get to see his thoughts and we see
That's
him the wrestlings and the strugglings of a man going through what else I just to say here? But you're seeing him go through a trial. So when we
mm-hmm.
go through our trials, there's no microscope on us recording every word that we say that the people hear. The angels are recording it. Yahweh hear every word. He knows our thoughts, the stuff we don't even choose to voice. He hears all of that. And he sees all of that and knows our thoughts and our emotions and how we're dealing with the situation. But Job, it's recorded. So it's easy for us to say, okay, well, this is what's happening. That's what's happening because it's recorded. But we all go through these things. And there's times we know that when we're going through it, it's easy to say when in hindsight is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're
Mm-hmm.
going through it, I mean, we don't know what we might say or what we might do, and so Job's testimony and integrity, we see that even what he's saying, he's trying to understand why he's going through it, as our sister said, but she said that instead of praying for the wisdom to see the testimony in the test. And so a lot of times, Elder, when we go through things, we don't realize how blessed we really are to be. It's when you go through things you see how blessed you are, because that trial, and when you see Yahweh bring you through it, then you realize how blessed you really are. But it just don't feel good when you're going through it. So that's what we got Job going through. It's a it's an ordeal, and he's going
You
through the
see,
motion.
yeah, praise Yahweh for that. You see, Einstein 2020. We are reading now, so
Mm,
we exactly see what Job is going through. But if we were in that time zone, you know, we would have been stuck dumb also, because we would
mm,
know, what to do, what to say. But
that's right.
no, because of these stories, they're to help us in our daily life. That's what
That's
they're
right.
they're there for. And even they're
Praise.
there, we still make the same mistake. You
That's
know
right.
why? As long as we are in this mortal body,
Mm,
yeah, we're gonna come short of the glory of the Most High. It doesn't
that's
matter
right.
how hard we try. That's why there's a window, there's a door of hope through the
Mm,
Messiah. to take
Mm.
us back, or reconcile us with the Creator Himself. That's His job.
Praise
So
Yahweh.
that's what I said. 2020. Now you're gonna say, "Oh, I would have done something different." No, you have
Mm.
certain scenario pops up. You say, "Oh, well, if I'm gonna meet in an accident." Let me use that.
Mm.
Um, and then the situation come where you're supposed to turn right or left, but you freezes
Right.
right there. What can you
Right.
do?
See.
Bam! You're
Mm-hmm.
involved in an accident.
That's
So
right.
experience is good. So it's very important to take this experience from Brother Job, and take it in and practice it in our life. This is important to practice walking in the law. So when the situation come popped up, then Yahweh will put it in you at that minute what you should do. Because don't try to do it on your own,
Mm.
because it's impossible to do it on your own. So we praise Yahweh.
That's right.
We give Him glory.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah indeed. Our elder Hosheas, he quoted 2 Timothy 3:12.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, and all who will live godly in Yahshua shall suffer persecution. See? Praise Yah.
Right.
So this gives
Right.
us understanding, like you said, we're reading the
Mm-hmm.
blessings and the curses, so we just assume, well, I'm keeping the commandment, so everything's supposed to be good. That ain't reality. Yahweh
Mm-mm.
is going to try you and allow you to go through things to see the if you're that all faith has to be tested, and that's
That's
the
right.
bottom line. If I have a sword and I say, well, this is the sword, I'm a blacksmith, and I bring it to the king and say, hey, king, you take this sword and give it to your best man, send him into battle with it. Well, has the sword been proved? You ain't shed no blood with that sword yet. That sword needs to go through some trials before I give it to my best man to set in the battle, because the sword might get broke or break up, or during battle. And so I need to make sure that this sword is proved before we take it out into battle. And so these are the things that we go through, and we don't understand. Yahweh is going to allow us to be tried. Like you said, it pleased him to bruise Yeshua, and he did no sin, but it pleased him to bruise. So the mind of Yahweh, who can understand the mind of Yahweh? But it's like a
Mm.
father, and this is the relationship he has. It
That's
pleases a
right.
father not to see his child go through trials, but when you see the child has heart, and you see him muscle up and be able to toughen up and deal with situations, that's pleasing, to the father to see that. Now he may not want to see him getting knocked over, but to see how he handles obstacles, the father will sit back and say, "Okay, let me see what he's going to do. Let me see. He might be riding the bike, and you don't just go pick him up. Let me see how he handles it. Will he get up if he falls down? You see
Yep.
what I'm saying? So yeah, Yahweh show he say his thoughts are different than ours. So praise Yah.
Praise Yah.
Um,
Praise Yah.
we had one last comment. Brother Walker
Mm-hmm.
Damon said, "Heart and effort are things that he takes into account. A
Mm-hmm.
want to be better plus evidence of getting better. Indeed, yeah, Yahweh searches the heart. He tries the
That's right.
reins. So you're right.
That's
You're
right.
absolutely right, my brother. Praise him.
Yeah.
All right, Elder, we're back in Job chapter 30, and this is verse 22. Thou liftest me up to the wind. Thou causest me to ride upon it, and dissolvest my substance. For I know that thou wilt bring me to death, and to the house appointed for all living.
Hmm.
Howbeit, he will not stretch out his hand. Interesting.
That,
Howbeit, yeah, go
the
ahead, Elder. I know you got something to say on
it's
it.
it's hard. I said it's a hard situation, but
Mm,
this story make it much more easier for us today. But
that's
it's
right.
a hard situation. It's very hard. And Job, because the mindset, as what I said before, you said you're going to bless us, you're going to protect us in every way, form, shape, or whatever. You're going to protect
Mm-hmm.
us all the way to the very end. Now this brother is thinking about the end of his life. I'm just going to go to the grave. There's no more
Mm,
strength that is left in me. Let me prepare myself, for burial. Go and get,
mm.
pick my spot out there so someone can get me
See,
buried. Yeah. So
see.
it's sometimes, I don't know, we all been through that situation. And sometimes it's
Mm,
just a point in our life we just have to check ourselves what we have been doing and to see if we can make changes. Not making the big changes, because little changes is so important, and that's what stock up until it get very high, so that you are
mm.
pretty much grounded in the law. So
Praise
praise
Yah.
yeah.
Praise Yah. Look, we had two comments. Our brother said, it pleased Yahweh to bruise Yeshua. Bruises heal and the skin gets stronger. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They said,
Mm-hmm.
well, don't kill you, make you stronger. These situations, it wasn't to kill him, because remember Yahweh told Satan, don't kill him. He said, don't
Mm-hmm.
kill him. So it wasn't to kill him, it was to make him stronger and to try him. And our sister Pam said this was Job's opportunity, and we are all given opportunities to practice living by faith. See,
Praise yeah.
Job is going
Praise
through
yeah.
it. So praise Him. Great insight. This is Job 24. Howbeit, he will not stretch out his hand to get to verse 24. Howbeit, he will not stretch out his hand to the grave, though they cry in his destruction.
Hmm.
Did not I weep for him that was in trouble? Was not my soul grieved for the poor? When I looked for good, then evil came unto me, and when I waited for light, there came darkness. My bowels boiled and rested not. The days of affliction prevented me. I went mourning with the sun. I stood up and I cried in the congregation. I am a brother to dragons and a companion to owls. My skin is black upon me, huh? And my bones
Hmm.
are burned with heat. Yeah, they overlook that, Elder. This,
I mean,
they say that's a
you can address
typo.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a typo. Okay, it's a
They say it's a
typo.
typo.
It's a
We know that
typo.
he's
Okay.
going through it. I
Yeah,
mean, also we know that when you're going through a situation of famine, your skin, will darken upon you and what have you. But and Job is, but this is literal. He's telling them this, this is literal, and we have other accounts throughout the book where Solomon said the same thing.
I know.
And so we know that these are actual description, but you know, it's for people to actually read and understand what's written.
That's right.
Praise Yah.
Praise yeah.
This is chapter 30, verse 31 rather.
Mm-hmm.
My harp also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep. Praise Yah.
Praise
Yeah.
yeah. And that's why it's so important, for all of us to read the law of Christ, to read the law of the Messiah. You can find those law and even in the book of Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7 and other
Mm,
places. He help us in our daily life, because he know we're going to go through situation, as Job here. And those things, you have to be wise. You
mm,
have to be very wise, and to get understanding, and then proceed with that understanding to do what is right before the Most High, not to turn away from the Most High. So this
mm,
is where the Messiah comes into play to help all of us, go through our daily life. So praise Yah.
mm. Praise Yah. Look, we read when Yeshua cried, when he prayed, he said,
Mm-hmm.
if it be Father, if it be your will, let this cup pass from before me. But if it be your will, I'll drink. So he accepted that which he had to go through. And we can hear that in Job's testimony.
That's
Uh,
right.
Job, he's accused of being self-righteous in the sense,
Mm-hmm.
but then and that's
Yeah,
what his brothers are
we're
accusing
gonna
him of.
we,
You know,
we we're gonna see that further on. Go ahead.
we're gonna get to it.
We're gonna
We're
get
gonna
it.
get to it. You know, but then you also have him. He's in a sense, he's in a place where Job is defending himself. So
Mm-hmm.
we see, we're seeing the aspect of, is it pride or is it integrity? He's maintaining his integrity because he's saying, look, I'm not going. I didn't do what y'all saying I did. I didn't do that. He's like, and Yahweh know I didn't do that. He's now whatever I did, I'm gonna deal with that. But so he's in a sense where he's defending himself, and his friends are taking that as him being prideful in a sense, and because he doesn't want to, because he didn't bend down and say what they wanted him to
That's
say.
right.
So in their eyes, brother, you are arrogant. You just, you're a
Your
hypocrite.
name.
You, how dare you not acknowledge it? You, how you not gonna go along with what we say? We know you did something. You must have, because there ain't no righteous man go through what you go through. You got to be wicked, Job. And this is what, and so he's defending himself, and we're hearing the conversation, but Yahweh's going to hear him speak, and this is what they're. This is, and we still have to acknowledge what's happening in the bet. So these brothers are pushing him, and you can see the bet. You can see Satan right there, like, okay, he about to mess up. He about to mess up. And Job, he's like right on the border. He about to say something, and they just wait, because the bet was to get him to curse Yahweh to his face.
That's right. And
And he's
you see, sometimes, as we stated, yes, it is a bet, but Yahweh have his reason why he allowed
mm,
this wager to go through, and we'll see it later on. For all of us, because sometimes
praise
we
him.
can be blind, to certain things, and Yahweh have to use certain scenario to open our eyes. And one
Mm,
instant where Yahweh uses this, situation or the scenario to open the eyes of Job, as we, continue in this book. So, yes,
praise him.
praise God. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Job chapter 31, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I made a covenant with my eyes. This is Job's eighth answer. He's continuing. I made a covenant with mine eyes. Why then should I think upon a maid? For what portion of Elohim is there from above, and what of the Almighty from on
Mm-hmm.
high? Is not destruction to the wicked, and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity?
It's
Does he not see my
Deacon.
ways? Go
Yeah.
ahead, Ezra.
What
See?
Job is saying here? Why are you doing this to me? Is he checking y'all? Is what I'm
Mm,
saying? Is he saying something? Oh, no, no, no.
mm,
These things that is happening to me, no, I shouldn't be going through this stuff. Those belong to the wicked, not me. So
mm,
it's like, no, no, no,
mm,
no. These things should be happening to unrighteous people. Come on, Yahweh. You know, come on. What are you saying? What are you
mm,
doing? You know. So it's like it's baffling between what is happening, what's going on with him right now, and what is written in this book. And all of us go through it too,
mm,
especially we lost our job. We don't know how we're going to pay the rent. We don't know how we're going to pay the bills. We don't know how we're going to
mm,
eat tomorrow morning,
mm,
because there's more important things
mm,
that Yahweh wants us to learn, and it is faith, to have faith in Him. So sometimes He
mm,
allows us to go through
mm,
certain things. Then when we go through the ordeal, then we understand His word much better. You have to ask this,
mm,
and we all go through it. We all said this to the Creator. Why is life so hard on us? Why is hard on us?
mm,
We go. That's why I say when you do things mechanically, there's no faith in it, and we have to learn to live by faith. Not only the commandment, not only the law. They both ride, along
mm.
each other. They're very important in life.
See, you said something there. When we look at Abram,
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, he, before his name was changed, but Yahweh knew he was faithful. Yahweh knew he was his servant. He spoke. He said, "This is my friend." He called Abraham his friend. See,
Absolutely.
I know he's
Mm-hmm.
going to command his house and he's going to do right. But when he told him to take that boy up, he told him, "You go take Isaac up and go sacrifice him."
Mm-hmm.
See, and now this is a confusing situation because, like you said, the commandments say one thing, but that required faith. So so he brought him through that experience. He
Mm-hmm.
tried him in a different way where he
That's right.
separated the what you gonna do now? This ain't got nothing to do with the law now. You supposed to obey me according to the law, but I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you to do something that I never commanded you, that the law says don't do, in a
That's right.
sense. So now it requires faith. Now you got to understand, well, why is he even having me? He didn't even question it. And he went through, and right when he's at the point, that angel said, "Now I know you going. Now I
Mm.
know. Stop. You good, Abram? But now I know." But he had to go through that experience. So, like you said, praise God. This is why this thing is recorded.
You know,
Praise God. That was great
pra-
commentary.
yeah, praise, praise, for that scenario that you have just mentioned, because it's very important. Now we know that Yah is also above what is written here. He
That's right.
is above. He can do
That's right.
whatever. He's not, you know, obliged, to keep this law. He's
Mm,
above it.
mm,
Even these
that's
laws
right.
are for us, not for him. And that's where we
Mm,
made the mistake. you know,
see.
in our life. That why, no, we need, because a lot of folks, especially in the Hebrew circle, they don't understand why he accept a human sacrifice.
Mm,
You
mm.
understand? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because they
Mm,
realize that he don't have to do anything that is written in the law. He can go
that's
outside
right.
the law. He's the creator of
See,
everything, the heaven and the
Yahweh's
earth,
not
and
bound by
everything.
his law. You're right.
He's not
Mm,
bound by the law. He's above his word. He's above
mm.
his name. He's above everything. And that's what we have to get, and get it straight in our head.
That's
It's,
powerful, Elder.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry about that. No, go ahead, Elder.
No, we just have to get that in our tough head, because that's
Mm,
why I said this human body, this mortal body that we live in, is no good. So we have to wait for our change, because without our change, we are doomed. We're doomed.
mm.
Yeah, take it away, Deacon.
Praise God, man. Elder Hoshea said, crazy thing, when I go through very difficult
Mm-hmm.
situations, I'm like Job's friends in my mind. I convict myself, and my mind is saying this because of that or because of that. I never felt I don't deserve it. Right? Praise God. So he's saying yeah, we convict
Yeah,
ourselves, and I mean, and rightfully so.
yeah.
Rightfully so. So there's a humility in that sense.
Mm.
It's about accepting what is going to come regardless, because we're seeing that we're not in no control of it. The Like you said, Yahweh's not bound to his law. you know we go through situations, and like you say, Yahweh will allow you to go through something. But even when we see with the creation, when we see how the creation was formed, and the laws that came that preceded that, he said, "You shall not do this, and you shall not do that." But he allowed the nation to be formed through certain ways, and this is the thing that this is where mankind is. This is why this testimony is so good, Elder, because a lot of people will say, "Well, because this is the position of atheists." Loving God, if he's so supreme and all powerful, why does he allow people to die? Why does he allow evil things to happen and not understand? Yahweh's sovereign. He does as he pleases. He said, "I'm gonna give people for your life." Imagine that.
Mm.
That sounds harsh. He
I
said, "But I'm gonna
know.
do that." He said, "I'm gonna do that." When you see, he said 10,000. You read the book of Psalms. He said 1,000 is gonna drop at your right hand, 10,000 on your left. Only with your eyes are you gonna see the reward of the wicked. He's telling you, you're gonna see these things. So when you see it, understand that he's in control and he's sovereign. What are we gonna do about that? Are we gonna say, "Oh, you're wrong, Yahweh, for doing this," or how could you do that? Not understanding that, no, who is the potter and who's the clay? Yahweh does as he
Mm.
pleases. Yeah. So this is
Yeah,
it's a very great testimony to understand this. Yeah.
you know, again, we all need to understand, if Yahweh abide to the law, then he's not a God. He's not
Exactly.
that God.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
if he's bound to a situation, then he's tied, and he can't do anything outside those barriers.
Hmm.
So we have to
Hmm.
take all those things into consideration. So as
See,
what you said it before, he's sovereign.
that's right. That's right.
He
I mean, the great
is.
adventure. It's a great adventure of life. Why did he create Satan? I mean, I mean, that's the people say, well, yeah, he could have made it easier. Well, why did he create the angels? You know, did he want company? This is Yahweh's sovereign. This way he's showing, look, I do what I please. But he's also showing us the mystery to him, and
Mm-hmm.
he's showing that he is his majesty and his power. I mean, this is the great adventure of life. How could you know good without evil? How could you appreciate light without darkness? So
Mm-hmm.
the balance that he's allowed to happen in life is what will make us appreciate life. But it's that understanding through things and understanding that we and being able to acknowledge that we as humans want to be in control, and this is the thing that to accept about Yahweh for a lot of people, and with His word that Yahweh does as He pleases, and there's nothing that a man can put to that. Yeah.
That is so true, Deacon. That is so
Mm,
true, and we need to understand that. So he do whatever, even though he allow us, to go through all situation in life, but he love you. He's always going to be there for you, and he's the one that form us. So yeah,
mm.
so praise yeah.
Praise God. Let me pick this back up here. We're in verse 3. This is Job chapter 31, verse
Mm-hmm.
3. Is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? Does not he know my ways and count all my
What Job is
steps?
saying there?
If my
Uh, Deacon,
see,
let's take a little pause. Does
uh,
not he sees my ways and count all my steps? So is Yahweh blind? You know, don't Yahweh see that I'm righteous? You see what I'm saying? Why he allowed this thing to happen to me? Don't he see? Oh, it seems like he need a bifocal glass or something. This is I'm talking. Yahweh need. That's what Job is practically saying. Yahweh is not
mm,
seeing his walk. You see, Job was righteous, but Job was righteous within the law. He's following the law. Okay, and within himself, he's saying, I am righteous within himself. So this is the take that I got so far, and we're gonna see later on. Okay, so he's telling Yahweh, Yahweh, something is wrong. I have get all the answer. I have followed all the steps. I have shown you all the process, the procedures that you have given me in the Torah, and I've walked that way. What's going on? What did the young ruler when he went to Yeshua? What Yeshua said to him when he said, "What can I do to inherit the kingdom of Yahweh of God?" He said, um, he said to him, follow the law, keep the law. He named a few, and then he said, I have kept those from my youth. And what did Yeshua said to him? He said something out of, prescribed out of the law. He said, all right, go ahead and sell whatever
mm,
you have and give it to the poor and follow me, and you should get eternal life. You see what I'm saying to you? So
mm.
no, he couldn't do that. His heart wouldn't allow him to do that because he have riches. Can you imagine? I gave everything away.
Mm,
I know I'm walking as a poor man. No, 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 no. I can't afford to do that. So when you look at it, he was
mm.
walking righteously in the Torah, in the law. We all have to see that with our eyes. You know, look,
The law is what made a man righteous.
okay, but you have to rise above
See,
that righteousness. You have to,
that's what it's about, ain't
yes,
it?
that's what it's about. You have to rise above the law because that is just our duty
Mm,
to do. You are unprofitable. You have to go above it. You see your enemy out there need some things, hunger, need some water. Give your enemy water. You know, yeah. What else can I do for you? That's why you have to read the law of the Messiah. It make life a little bit easier for you. You're not gonna say it's not gonna be hard, most of the time or sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
he help you to put on that thinking cap. You have to do things. Look at the Samaritan that do the help. When one of the journey was, hurt, bleeding, your name. Even the
Mm-hmm.
priest passed by. Oh, okay, it's on the Shabbat. So you know what? I can't touch him because once I touch him with the blood, then I'm unclean. I can't go into the synagogue.
Mm.
Yeah, so we have to be very
The spirit of the
the
law.
spirit of the law. Now you come. There is
See?
lot of things written in the law, but you have grace. That's what I said. You have grace within the law. So you have to apply yourself.
Mm.
So you can be righteous within the law, but then you can be unrighteous. So you have to be very, very careful. Knowing a lot of stuff, a lot of wisdom and understanding you have to receive. And you're not going to receive until you start exercising all what is written in this book. You have to go above and beyond the call
Mm.
of duties. That's the bottom line. Praise God. You can
Praise God.
continue on, Deacon.
We had a comment on here. Our brother Walker Damon said, Yah could unalive a Hitler with his bare hands before the Holocaust was committed, and atheists would still find a reason to be against it. Indeed, yeah. Yeah. Our sister said, if you don't think you did anything to cause you to go through what you are going through, it's hard. I do think that we are not aware of what we did. It's kind of, it kind of makes us stop, reflect, and feel unworthy. Job was different. Say, as our sister Precious said, I'm not there yet. So we're reading this. So we're seeing the spirit of the law, like you said, Elder, the spirit of the law versus the natural law. And then also part of Job's response is him is him is his because his brothers is not him just in prayer. This is not his conversation in prayer. This is him trying to respond and defend himself against his accusers, if you
Yeah,
would. And in his retaliation, he's going to say some things that we see. There's but that's as far as he could go because there's things that he doesn't understand. Like you
that's
said,
right.
he's this is being imputed by them. And
That's right.
so this is where Yahweh shows that we have to go above and beyond that law. You
That's
know.
right. Praise God.
And
Praise
so
God for that, Deacon.
praise Yah. Well, our elder commented, Shalom Elder Yehuda. He said Yahweh declared Job as righteous at the outset. Correct. Job is attempting to reason why, but iniquity was found. But what iniquity was found in Job? Correct. See, so we didn't read. We didn't. It wasn't him saying what he's saying. Yahweh's going to correct him and challenge him on some of the things that he's saying. We're going to read that. But also, what is his sin? Is he
You
committing
see,
iniquity? Like
you
what
see,
is his sin that
you see,
what is the sin that he's
you see, transgression of the law.
because that's what his
That's the
brothers
def.
couldn't do. They couldn't bring him. They kept trying to make accusations against him, but he was like I didn't do that. I didn't do that. That's what he's saying. And Yahweh declared him righteous at the beginning. But
I know
like you
that.
said,
So when Yahweh spoke that, I think it's chapter 1 verse 8, and chapter 2 verse 8, and said he was righteous. Yahweh,
mm-hmm,
he was talking about the law. He walked righteously in the law. So as soon as we continue to read, a lot more things is going to reveal, because sin, transgression of the law, that's the definition for sin. You have to break one of the law, but there's things above that. But let's continue. Let us see what's going on.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Job chapter 31, verse 4, verse 5. If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot has hasted to deceit, let me be weighed in an even balance. that Elohim may know mine
Mm-hmm.
integrity. If my step, see, so he's defending himself. He said, well, Yahweh gonna have to judge me because y'all brothers ain't like y'all can't judge me. Y'all can't judge me because y'all done. You see
I
what I'm saying?
understand
And so
that.
and he's
I
all right for
understand
saying
that.
that. And and
Yeah.
and Yahweh's gonna defend him and say, hey,
Yeah.
y'all ain't speak right by me now. Y'all done accuse my servant Job. But this was
That is
all
correct.
but that's the thing. This is part of Job's test and Job's trial and his testimony. You know, it's not
Praise
fair. It
yeah.
seems like it's not fair. Well, who said life is
Mm-hmm.
fair? See, it's not supposed to be. Yahweh do as he please. You know, is that
Thank you.
like they say,
Yeah.
it pleased them to bruise Yahshua. That doesn't seem fair to some
Yeah.
people. That's like, well, man, why would you do that? Well, Yahweh say, my thoughts ain't your thoughts. The rain comes down from up on high. Like my thoughts are above your thoughts. You may not see why I have you going through that trial. That trial is to strengthen you for something that may come up 5 years down the line that you ain't even aware of or privy to. But Yahweh know what he got prepared for us. This like you say, it still shows the sovereignty of Yahweh. He's in control of all these things. Praise Yah.
Praise yeah. And again,
Praise
I
Yah.
know sometimes it's hard for us to know one iniquity that they have committed because no one,
Mm-hmm.
on this earth, you know, um haven't committed haven't can say they can
Mm-hmm.
say that, oh, I haven't committed any sin. Only one man can do that, and the one man is the son.
Correct.
So all other men are at
That's
some
right.
point in their life they committed sin or unrighteous act. They
Yes,
maybe
sir.
don't know, they may be ignorant to that sin, but at some point Yahweh will forgive them. Yahweh will bring back it to their memory so they can cover their sin. you know. So praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Verse 7, or verse 6, the latter part of verse 6, that
Mm-hmm.
Elohim may know mine integrity. Now we talked about that integrity. It was part of this is a great part of character that the
That's
holy
right.
men had. Verse 7, if my step has turned out of the way, and my heart walked after mine eyes, and if any blot has cleaved to my hands, then let me sow, and let another eat. Yea, let my offspring be rooted out. If my heart has been deceived by a woman, or if I have laid wait at my neighbor's door, then let my wife grind unto another, and let others bow down upon her. I was blatant.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10, verse 11. For this is an heinous crime, yea, it is an iniquity to be punished by the judges. For if it is a fire that consumeth to take destruction, and would root out all mine increase, if I did despise the cause of my manservant, or my maidservant ended with me, what then shall Elohim riseth up? And when he visiteth, what shall I answer him? Did not he that made me in the womb make him? And did not one fashion us in the womb? If I have withheld the poor from their desire, or have caused the eyes of the widow to fail, or have eaten my morsel myself alone, and the fatherless has not eaten thereof, for from my youth he was brought up with me, as with a father, and I have guided her from my mother. If I have seen any perish for want of clothing, or any poor without covering, if his loins have not blessed me, and if he were not warmed rather with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted up my hand against the fatherless. Now he's reciting the law, elder. He's going above and beyond the law. Now he's saying, look, I've given. If I didn't do this, then let me be judged accordingly. So he's trying to understand: is he being is he questioning his Elohim, or is he's trying to understand what did I do? Show me what I did so I can correct it. I mean, that's what I'm
Okay.
receiving from part of his testimony. What did I
Eh,
do?
eh,
Because he
You
wants to
you
correct it, but
you are
he's like,
absolute
what did
you
I do? He's confused, like, man, what did I do? I don't know what I
you
did.
are
Like, I don't know.
you're absolutely, because that's the reason why sometimes Yahweh would blind our eyes from seeing
Yeah.
certain things. It doesn't matter who you are, but when the time comes, Yahweh will
Mm,
reveal. So I mean, Job is not wrong in saying all these stuff. I would have said the same thing too. Show me what have I done. I know what I've done, but I'm just saying, pertaining to this story, show me what
Hmm.
have I done so that I can, I can atone for it. Show me, you know, I follow your law. I go above, this situation where I've lifted up my hand against the fatherless, when I saw on my help in the gate. So just continue to read and continue to read what he said. These are the answers that Job is coming. He's searching his whole demeanor. He's searching himself to figure out what is the problem.
Mm.
The problem. Let's wait on the problem. Let me say if it reveal unto us. Because we just have to be patient sometimes. Let's read and to try to figure out what Yahweh was trying to show to Job or
Our
show to
elder,
us.
praise your elder. Sorry to interrupt you. No, we
Mm-hmm.
had a
Go ahead.
comment on here. Our elder said, "Oh well, Shabbat Shalom to our sister Atalia. Praise Yah. The praise Yah for blessing us with a peaceful Sabbath and rest. Indeed, indeed." Our elder said, Job illustrative of not that he was in sin, but that evil and good is a state that afflicts all men. His actions are good, as you just read. But this is a perspective. This is from our elder Yehuda.
Praise Yah.
All
You
right,
see,
I'm gonna
Job.
pick it up,
Look,
elder.
you see,
Praise Yah.
before you pick it up, Deacon. What we all,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not saying the elder is not right, but we mankind cannot operate, within the law. And when I say within the law, sometimes you can give extra. If the law say give 10, sometimes you'll give 12 or whatever. So we have to. He was abiding within the law. Whatever the law
Mm.
says, that's what he was doing. But there's more to it. That's why I said there's more to it. Let's hang on, a little while longer to see if we can reach where we can find out where Job was stop dumb. He don't have an answer for it.
Mm.
So I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump ahead, but
Yes,
I just
sir.
want to
No, I know you. I know
keep
where you're
flow.
going. Elder.
Yeah,
Praise Yah.
pretty
Let's
job.
keep it moving. This is Job chapter 31, verse 21. If I have lifted up my hand against the fatherless, when I saw my help in the gate, then let mine arm fall from my shoulder blade, and mine arm be broken from the bone. For destruction from Elohim was a terror to me, and by reason of his highness I could not endure. If I have made gold my hope, or have said to the fine gold, you are my confidence. If I rejoiced because my wealth was great, and because my hand had gotten much, if I beheld the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness, and my heart has been secretly enticed, or my mouth has kissed my hand, this also were an iniquity, to be punished by the judge. For I should have denied the Elohim that is above. If I rejoiced at the destruction of him that hated me, or lifted up myself when evil found him, neither have I suffered my mouth to sin by wishing a curse to his soul. If the men of my tabernacle said not, "Oh, that we had his flesh," we cannot be satisfied. The stranger did not lodge in the street, but I opened my doors to the traveler. If I covered my transgressions as Adam, by hiding my iniquity in my bosom, did I fear a great multitude? Or did the contempt of families terrify me, that I kept silence and went not out at the door, and went not out of the door rather? Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty would answer me, and that mine adversary had written a book. Surely I would take it upon my shoulder, and bind it as a crown to me. I would declare unto him the number of my steps. As a prince would I go near unto him. If my land cry against me, or that the furrows likewise thereof complain, If I have eaten the fruits thereof without money, or have caused the owners thereof to lose their life, let thistles grow instead of wheat, and cockle instead of barley. The words of Job are ended. Praise
Praise
Yah.
yeah. Now we're gonna go into a now we're gonna go into a different section now. Now we have additional party is gonna
Mm,
join, the charade too, And so it's not about Job's three friends or himself, but now there's someone neutral between his friend and Job. So let's, you know, continue, see if we can find out what this person, Eliyahu, is saying about, Job, and what he's saying about his three friends. So if we can get more understanding what's
mm.
going on in the story.
Real quick, Elder, our mother Santressa
Mm.
said Job knew that he could use his influence to pervert justice in the gate of the city where the place of disputes were adjudicated, but he never did so. Our sister Precious said, see, he could have done that, but he didn't
That's
do
right.
that. Our sister Precious said, our guest Job was confident because he always prayed and confessed and made sacrifices for his sins and his family's sins, even for the ones that he was not aware of. I guess that's why he felt bold and confident. He didn't do anything.
That you see,
Yeah,
sometimes you can be
yeah,
overconfident.
yeah. Because he used
Go
to
ahead.
sin. Now he prayed. He said, he prayed, Yahweh, forgive my sin, my children, in case they, peradventure that they sin, just in
Yeah.
case they sin. He didn't even know. He said just he would offer a sacrifice, but like you said, this was according to the law. But Yahweh is going to show him that I'm going to take it a step further. This is not about just doing things according to the law.
Right.
You still got to go above
Right.
and
That's
beyond,
what I'm talking
you
about.
know. And Yahweh showing him if I try you beyond the law, what can you say
Hmm.
to that? You just got to endure the trial and just give Yahweh the glory. This is a, you know, he got it before him, but I'm gonna allow you to go through this. Yahshua was perfect, and he did no sin, but it pleased Yahweh to bruise it. This is the mystery of not being in control. Like we want to be in control of and,
That's
and and
right.
this is the part where, well, okay, if I do right, that's how we control it. I'm gonna do right, and then I know I'll be blessed. Yahweh's gonna do it because this is what Yahweh promised me. But he also told you, look, I'll do what I please. The earth is the fullness and Yahweh's thereof. If I'm gonna allow you to go through something, I'm gonna allow you to go through it. It because in the end, Job's testimony, here it is written, and we are able to receive from this living testimony and from this word. So Job's trial, it was truly, even if it wasn't for him to understand, these things are to our edification. And Job received it later on. We understand that we're going to read that, like you said, we'll get to the end of that. The
That 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 is so
our
true. Our elder, sorry to break it, our elder always said there is, mercy and other things that are written, forgiveness are written in the law, and we are not using it. So,
that's right.
just if you just read the law just like that, thou shalt not kill, you know, and we're always looking at it, then if Yahweh is going to send you out there to kill someone or to take someone else's life, I mean, we wouldn't call that murder, but I'm saying Yahweh can operate outside the law because, as what you said before, he's not bound to the law. He can do whatever, and make sure you're not in the way because Yahweh will take you out too. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be right. You could be walking perfectly in the law.
Hmm.
If Yahweh instructs you to do something, go ahead and do. Let He stop you. Because you mentioned Abraham when he went to sacrifice Isaac.
Hmm.
And the angel said, "No, I know." When he's about to slay his son, You see what I'm saying? So let Yahweh do his thing.
Mm.
You
See,
cannot get
he had
in
to go
between.
right through it.
You have to go right through it. But these things, as what you
Mm.
said, that was for our edification. We learn by the things of others' experience sometimes. You know,
Mm.
and we all should learn by all the experience that is written in this book. It's for a reason. We have to do the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law. If someone needs some help on the Shabbat, are you gonna turn aside and not help that person? What are you gonna do? You see,
That's what the story of the Good Samaritan showed us, Elder. Right?
that's
The
right.
priest said, "I got to go take care of my. I got to go offer this sacrifice. I can't defile myself. I'm the priest. I can't do that." Yeshua said, "Man, you see." And that Samaritan people they didn't regard the Samaritan. Brother took him to the hotel. He took him to the inn.
Yeah,
He said, "Hey, if there's any more left over that I owe, I'll come back. I'll pay that too." What?
yeah. What a passerby, I'll
You
pay
know.
too.
Mm.
So that show
But the
you.
Jews despised them.
Mm,
Yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead, Elder.
yeah. No, I'm just saying, to our brothers and sisters, sometimes your eyes are wide open, but are you really seeing what you're seeing? Those yeah, Elisha, don't he have to open up his
Mm.
servant eye because his servant couldn't see what was out there? He said,
That's
just
right.
look out there, Yahweh's army. He said, Yahweh, open this
Mm.
man eye. Let it look and see, and when you
Mm.
see all the armies of Yahweh. So Yahweh always have his angel around his
Mm.
servant, protect him at all times. We know that's why we have to live by faith. Because faith is something that you really don't uncover yet. So you have to live by it. That hope you
Mm.
have to live by. So we will always live by, that faith until we reach a point where what I'm saying, he established or he have shown us everything that he needs to show us anymore. So we know exactly how to walk in righteousness
Mm.
spiritually because we have to serve him that way because he's a spirit.
Mm. Mm.
So let's continue. Yeah,
Praise
praise God.
God.
Let's continue on chapter 32. Let we see what this younger brother have to say to both parties.
The real quick, Elder, we had a comment here, a couple comments. Our brother Walker Damon said, "We're supposed to come before Yahweh." Correct. He said, "We're supposed to approach unto Him." Involved in that as well, but we're supposed to boldly declare the word of Yahweh.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, is Job doing wrong by doing that? Because he's speaking. See, so this is the thing. So, no, that's the thing. This is so
No,
much. This is why it's
no.
so good to read this story. Because it's
Yeah,
easy to say, well, Job should have did this, or Job could have did that. But we're not in that situation. And see, that's why that's not why the story was recorded for us to say, well, see, Job should have did that. That's not what it was about. He's
not.
showing us and allowing us to see because these are the things that we go through in our trials. And we probably be more guilty than Job. We probably, done a whole
Of
lot more
course.
than and said a lot more than Job would have said, especially if we were being accused with if our friends came to comfort us and they like, we probably would like the book wouldn't even be written. If it was me, you coming to like man, the book probably wouldn't even written because it's like, man, really, bro, like y'all
we
would
would
have
have
to
maybe
leave with
take.
this
We
accusing,
would have
man.
to.
Like, come on now, this is just,
Yeah, we would have to maybe take his. We would take his head off right away. Man, I can't
oh
take
man,
any more of this.
Elder.
You're not gonna come here lying to you. So
See,
what I'm saying, to Yahweh there is much more. That's all I'm saying. With Yahweh, there's much more
mm,
than what's written in
praise
this book.
God.
There is much more. We Let me tell you,
Mm,
we're not gonna have the ability to know Yahweh. And when I say to know Yahweh, He only give us a little bit. Yahweh is forever. We have to get
mm,
that body, that immortal body. before we
Mm.
can do certain things or understand Yahweh much more. You know, we die after 3 scores and 10. We maybe live a little extra, but this flesh won't allow us to go any further.
Mm.
So how can you say we know Yahweh? No, we could
Mm.
never know Yahweh. We could truly never know Yahweh until we're
Mm.
in His kingdom. That means we receive all of that changes that He said He was going to give us, because we have to. This body have to be changed. You know, this body is up
Mm.
to a certain
Mm.
limit, and then it stops. Yeah, we're not going to understand
Mm.
everything until when we go into the kingdom. That's why we need. That's why we need a Messiah.
That's that's true.
Yeah, we need a Messiah because there's
That's
much
true, Elder.
more, and we're limited. We're limited. That's why sometimes you have to, give the Hethys a props. You have to give them a prop certain, because you have to use, that wisdom that Yahweh, to overcome the Hethys, because the Hethys, one thing with them, they read the Bible too. They
That's right.
understand the Bible, but pretty much what they do not understand, there's limitation. That's why they fall, on His word. There's limitation to mankind on this earth. Yeah, we are limited.
Mm-hmm.
And realize when you're limited, there's certain things that you're
Yeah,
not
you're
going to.
absolutely right.
Yeah. So there's much more to this story, more than Job, and it's for us. It's not really for Job. This story is for us, for our upbringing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Continue.
Our sister Pam said, wasn't he living by work? Our sister Pam said, wasn't he living by work? Isn't line? You were just talking about faith, and so
Mm-hmm.
he's within the law. But then we know it
Yeah.
goes a step beyond that, and so we deal
And
with the
go
spirit of
beyond
the
that.
law. So that was a.
Yep.
She said Job said all his prayers plus some. This is why he couldn't see beyond his circumstances. That's good insight. Mother
Yeah.
Santressa said in relation to Adam's hiding from
Tim.
Elohim, Job had no secret sin to hide to mankind in general. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great observation. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. We're not going to run and say Job.
Hold on
Job
here. It looks
didn't.
like
That seems like the elder is coming on, but he's here. Welcome, welcome. Shabbat shalom, elder.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
You
Shabbat
Can you
okay?
hear
Shalom,
me?
Elder.
Okay, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Can you hear us?
I can hear everybody.
Okay, Shabbat shalom. Yeah. We're in the book of we're gonna pick it up at Job chapter 32, verse 1. We're gonna see a
Yes, sir.
neutral party in the mix too. So he have listened to both sides. So now he's gonna voice his opinion.
Yes, sir. Job chapter 32, verse 1. So these three men ceased to answer Job because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then was kindled the wrath of Elihu, the son of Bachel, the Buzite, of Barachel, the Buzite, of the kindred of Ram. Against Job was his wrath kindled, because he justified himself rather than Elohim. Also
Mm.
against his three friends, verse 3, also against his three friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer, and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken, because they were elder than he. When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Barachel, the Buzite, answered and said, I am young, and you are. Therefore I was afraid, and durst not tell you mine opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Days should speak, ears should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding.
Praise Yah.
Great men are not always wise.
That is so true.
Neither do the aged understand. Said the hoary head, if it's found in right, if it's found in wisdom. If it ain't found in wisdom, there's something else going on now. Live that
Yeah,
long and not learn nothing. That's
that's
foolish.
right. Yeah, you could be an old fool. Yeah. So
Hmm.
don't follow the old fool. Let me say something.
Praise that, brother.
These men, they were good men. They were like, I don't want to say they were
Mm.
righteous men. They were puzzled of what's going on because of what they have learned in the commandment,
Mm.
and they stuck to that commandment. Which, as stated, sometimes the commandment can be a mechanical thing. That's why the elder always said, there is the spirit. It's written in the law. So and there's things written in the law which we are not doing and we should be doing, because the law is not to, like, thou shalt not steal. There's more to it, more than thou shalt not steal. You have to set all of those parameters in place so that you don't steal. Suppose one day you find yourself out. What are you going to do? Are you going to pray to your creator? You're going to ask him for stuff? Suppose he don't give it to you. What are you going to do?
Mm.
What is the next option? He provide for you. You're just not seeing the direction to go. So you have to open all of our eye. So we do not want
Mm.
the law to become a mechanical things unto us.
Right.
Just like
Right.
the prayer that the Messiah taught his disciples. That is just, then you take it a next step further. What's in your law? What's in your heart? Pray to the Creator for it. What is bothering you? What is on your mind? What are you going through? Pray to the Creator for those things, and He will allow you to have it if you seem or deem it good for you, because it may be not good for you, so He's not going to give it to you. So praise Yah.
Mm. Praise yeah.
Praise Yah.
Verse 12. Yea, I attended unto you, and behold, one of you that convinced Job, or that answered his words,
Mm-hmm.
lest you should say, we have found out wisdom. Elohim thrusteth him down, not man. He has not directed his words against me, neither will I answer him with your speeches.
That's right.
They were amazed. They answered no more. They left off speaking. Were verse 16. When I had
Mm-hmm.
waited, for they spake not, but stood still, and answered no more. I said, I will answer also my part. I will also show mine opinion. For I am full of matter. The spirit within me constraineth me. Behold, my belly is as wine which has no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles. I will speak that I may be refreshed. I will open my lips and answer. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto men. So he's not a respecter of men. He's not a
You
respecter
see,
of persons.
he was he was an open brother.
Yeah.
He was an open brother, to those two companies,
And,
and
if I
he
Well,
may
he was
add here,
at least at the onset he is. At the onset, because
yeah.
when he continues his
uh,
discourse, he's going to end up taking on to the them. But at the onset, he is coming in as a neutral party, you know.
Yep.
But when we
well,
continue
well,
reading,
if
we're
I can
going to
say
see.
this, we have 4 or 5 people here
Mm-hmm.
who don't know what's going on, and we forget that. Job doesn't know what's happening, and his friends don't know what's happening, and the young and Elihu, he doesn't know what's happening. they're confined and limited to their culture of what they can see and understand. Not so much the 10 Commandments regulating them, but all of the law and all of the culture. So these 5 men are in a colloquy. They are trying to find out, as I said, what is actually going on with Job. And unless the Spirit, see, the law, the commandments that we have and the commandments, as y'all were saying earlier, well, that was given to men. That's given to men, unrighteous men. That law is for a person of sin. But here, it is a discussion beyond the commandments, in my opinion. It's beyond, because all of Yah's word is spirit. All of it is spirit, and all of it is law. But you may not always be given the spiritual understanding just because you're reading it. And even among us, it doesn't mean you have an understanding of the spirit. But see, now we got to say, what's in the mind of Yahweh? This is the catch. They don't know. Yahweh and Satan, of course, the spiritual beings know what's going on. So I look at this, it is very, it is the state of life, of humanity.
That's
You can
right.
opine about, I thought I was doing right. I thought I was a good guy, a good Joe, a good Sue. I thought I was keeping these commandments right. I thought I was doing, I keep the Sabbath, I do all these different things. But, and even you may go and you may well be walking in the spirit of the law. You may be well walking in the spirit, but it doesn't exempt you. You're never exempted. You don't know if you're exempted or not from testing and trials or tribulations. And that's the problem. Are you really exempt? Who said you were exempt? Right? So this is where we get here. Got all these intellectuals, the philosophical kind of grasp. So I ain't gonna hold it up, but let's continue. Let's continue to see this intellectual discussion of trying to come to a conclusion of why is Job being cast down to the dust.
Praise yeah. You wanted to pick it up? I can
Praise
pick
Yah.
it up. I can pick it up in chapter 33.
Now I'm continuing.
That's fine, Elder.
However you were doing
We
it,
had
that's fine with me.
Huh?
Just continue however y'all were doing it. Just continue.
we had a comment on here. Our sister said, "Remember, we are just seeing a small portion." Our sister Prejudice said, "We're seeing a small portion of Job's life. He's probably been through some things before, to where he always confessed before he had his family and confessed all the time." So also she put that his friends messed up by becoming and not having empathy. Yeah, I agree with
That's
Good
right.
comment.
because their minds
That
are
is so
already
true.
made up. It's like we were talking
Yeah.
about. If you have a bias towards a situation, and they were not looking for an option. They weren't looking for a way to justify Job or to. They already had it in their mind. Job, you did something, and because that bias was already in their mind, for us, it had to be this. You did this, Job. Well, you had to do it, Job. You did something, whether maybe, but you did something, Job. You're a hypocrite. You're like they accused him, and it got beyond just like inquiring and like, brother, you did this, but they, and that wasn't lawful because you had to have witnesses to that. So they became unlawful and became accusers of him. You see what I'm saying? And they took it a step further. Yeah.
Exactly. I was talking to a Christian brother this morning, good friend of mine. He asked me the same thing, not the same thing, but he asked me, is there universal salvation once you get saved, or you always you in the system, you're good? I said, well, that runs counter to the scriptures. It runs counter to the gospel. You have to endure to the end. The Mashiach said, if you cast your hand to the plow, and look back, then you'll know not worthy of me. See, what we're seeing here, what the sister said, kind of makes me think about that. You're going to have to go through the process in life, whatever that road that you're on, whatever test or trial. Job, you only see a small snippet. He just didn't wake up one day and became and for lack of a better term, the apple of Yahweh's eye, in this sense where he said a man that eschewed evil. He had to go through something. At some point, Yahweh put that protection around him and just kept him. But he had to. None of us wake up in the finished product. We're all born, and we all go through certain things. We understand. We're raised by our parents, etc. We come in, and then at some point, Yahweh opens our eyes, right? But between that time and the time you come into the truth, and then onward, I agree, sister. You may not want to tell everybody. Everybody can't tell their story. Everybody can't speak about what they've gone through. Everybody can't testify of how Yahweh has blessed them, brought them through. But if you've been around here long enough, you've gone through something, and you had to come through that. And it may be a lot of things, but if Yahweh finally got you to a point where you had to say, you had to go ahead and confess whatever wrong you did, and or confess that you can't make it without your Creator. That you just got to put yourself in His hands. So we all, and just like all of us, you only see a snapshot of our lives. You don't always see us in our best, and you don't always see us in our worst. So we're looking at this brother. He's at his, if I think it's honest to say, Elder and Deacon, Job is at his worst point in his life. So I'll keep it going. I'll let it go from there. Is he not? I would think this is his worst point in his life.
Praise God. I think so too, Elder.
I would imagine that would be a consensus. Yeah, I think he's hit,
Yeah,
in his life, he's hit rock bottom. In his own mind,
in
I've hit rock bottom.
it's in really
Yeah.
true bad shape
Right.
for
Right.
him to question, for him to come up with certain question.
You
You
have to
know,
do it. You
yeah,
would
why
have to do it.
answered me?
Anybody in their right mind would have to answer. That's why it is something. It's not nothing new under the sun. See, even you would have to come. Now we all can say, "Oh, I'll accept the situation, whatever Yahweh just put on me, I'll be accepted." Okay, be careful with that. You don't know who else is in the room with Yahweh, do you?
Absolutely.
Well, let me go down. Let me have at him then. We'll see what he'll accept. See, and this is the situation. Job wasn't even in that mind frame, but he had an adversary before he could turn around good. Let me take him. And so here we go right now. Continue with if y'all whoever's reading. But yeah, I'm just listening to this because you can't get away with you can't skip the process that Yahweh set for you.
We're in
You can smile.
Job. We're in Job chapter 33, verse 1. Wherefore, Job, I pray thee, hear my speeches, and hearken to all my words. Behold, now I have opened my mouth, my tongue has spoken in my mouth. My word shall be of the uprightness of my heart, and my lips shall utter knowledge clearly. The spirit of Elohim hath made me, and breathe of the Almighty had given me life.
Mm-hmm.
If thou canst answer me, set thy words in order before me, stand up. Oh, behold, I am according to that wish in Elohim's stead. I also am formed out of the clay. Behold, my terror shall not make thee afraid, neither shall my hands be heavy upon thee.
He's telling Job, sound like Elder. I'm a man like you, so you shouldn't fall out by what I'm telling you. Don't freak out. I'm just like you. I'm an average guy. I'm an average guy. So here we go again. Everybody's speaking to Job. Poor Job.
Verse 9. I am clean without, no, I'm sorry, verse 8. Surely thou hast spoken in mine hearing, and I have heard the voice of thy word, saying, I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me.
Elder, did he say that? Did Job declare that? Is that a true statement? Is that a true summary of what Job has been saying up until now?
Well, if you read back the whole context of what Job is saying, he's telling that, what have you found in me? Have you found any iniquity in me? So indirectly, he's saying it.
Okay. So what he's saying is he doesn't know what he's done. You don't know what he's done. So if you're going to accuse a man, right? Well, surely you should, if they're accusing him, surely they should bring some light to Job to point out, Job, you remember back in 2010? Job, you remember what you did to the old lady who needed some help with a rent, and you owned the property and you went ahead and evicted her, Job? You remember that, Job? Job, you remember when you closed down the orphanage? Job, you got all kind of wicked stuff out here. So why don't you come clean with some of this stuff, Job? We know what you've done, right? We've talked about this, right? So if you can't come to a brother and say, aren't we supposed to come to the brothers if someone wrongs you? Or you're not supposed to go to that brother and bring it to his attention, deacon and elder, that brother wronged you?
You know, Elder.
No, that's my question.
Yeah,
Now.
no.
If a brother wrongs you, if
Yeah,
you've been
and
wrong,
nothing,
those of us in the walk.
Yeah, you know,
If you hold on.
nothing.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
ask the question though, and this
Go ahead.
relates to this. If you've been wronged by a brother, are we not mandated to go to them as men or women one-on-one first, right? And then if they don't hear us, we're supposed to bring back some witnesses with us, right? Because you want to get this thing reconciled. So we got a process. But is that process but we don't see that process here. That's what I'm saying. They've been accusing him because they don't know what's going on, so they left to accusations. So what else can he do but defend himself? Well, what am I?
Absolutely.
What have I done, brother? Somebody should tell me something, because I may be oblivious to the sin. I may be oblivious to something I've done to somebody, and Yahweh is still on my back about it. Is that the case? So go ahead and continue. That's why I was trying to get to the point. Are they they came to console him from the beginning. And we see how that has taken place. That went off the rail. So what can Job do? So that's my thing. Is he, if you accuse me of something, I'm going to have to demand you to tell me, Deacon, what have I done? You have to come to me and tell me something. If you're saying I did this, I did that, well, when did I do it? How did I do it? And why did I do it? And where did I do it? And what was my motivation for doing it? You see, his brothers didn't give him that. So that's why I was saying, verse 9, they put in, I think they're putting, you said he's indirectly saying it. Well, Job is saying, hey, I don't know anything that I have done. Is that a lie?
Oh, that was the question?
I put it out there. I mean,
No,
because they're
yeah,
putting,
no,
he's
you
putting
see-
that out there, saying, Job, you just saying you're without, you haven't transgressed, you're innocent, and you're without iniquity. What do you do after that?
Well, you see, first of all, the Most High, you have to open your eyes. And there's a time, for that occasion. And if Yahweh don't open your eyes, it doesn't matter which party I'm not saying the other three, they are incorrect to come to the table without, the proof. They need to bring something substantial to the table. And that was on their part because their eyes wasn't open to certain things. Because Job walked perfectly in the law. So you have to come with something. So as soon as we continue to read
Oh yeah, we're going to get there, but we have to. We know
all
where
of
we're
this
going. But even
episode,
then,
yeah. So
well, let's go because
yeah,
we have to set Job not up as a wicked or sinner. Let's not set him up that way, but we got to set him up in the right way. You know, he's just like any of us. We don't know.
absolutely.
We don't know what's going on in heaven about us. You feel me? So that's the beauty of it. Nobody knows. You don't know the discourse in heaven about you, if there's any discourse at all. But continue.
Verse yeah, we're in the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 10. Behold, he findeth occasion against me. He counted me for his enemy. He put my feet in the stocks. He marketh all my path. Behold, in this thou art not just. I will answer thee, and Elohim is greater than man. Why dost thou strive against me? For he giveth not account of any of his matters. For Elohim speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth not. That's what Christ said. We have no Isaiah. We have no understanding. Our righteous, as what the deacon said, we are all like our righteous is just like filthy rags. Verse 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. He is chastened also with pain upon his bed, and the multitude of his bones with strong pain, so that his life abhorreth bread, and his soul dainty meat. His flesh is consumed away, that it cannot be seen, and his bones that were not seen stick out.
And see, and this is where we have to come back to from the, like I said a week or so ago, the premise, they got a faulty premise and it's deductive, and the conclusion is false as applied to Job. See, they've put him already as he's done something so egregious and sinful before Yahweh. So, Job, this is what you're getting. See, they're saying this is basically what you're going through, Job. This is why you're in this position, right? So let's continue. So,
Verse
okay,
20.
I'm a sinner. I've done this. I'm prideful, and now this is where I'm at. So, Job, you're going through all these different things. Your flesh is being consumed away. You're looking pretty bad out here. You're near death. You know. But this is what you're getting. This is basically based upon what you've done, Job. Accept the responsibility and accountability. It's that same position. If you go ahead and you got to be accountable. Yahweh is not wrong. You've sowed this stuff, Job, and now you're reaping it. That's the premise. But we know that's a false premise. We know that's not true because we read the beginning, Job 1, chapter 1. So we know that's not the right premise. So everything they're doing, all of their analysis, as you said, they're good guys. They love Job. Well, I don't know about love, but they're knowledgeable of what the word is. They're knowledgeable about what happens to the wicked and these different things from their culture, their whole life, the law. So they're just going down that same premise. You see, Elder? They haven't left that path yet. So they're sticking close to that. Job, this is what a man goes through when he has done either a secret sin, you don't done something. So this is the way. I hate you lost everything, Job. But this is the conclusion of the matter for you. Damn. Okay. This is what he's saying again.
Verse 22. Yea, his soul drawing near unto the grave, and his life to the destroyer.
That's right.
If there be a messenger with him, an interpreter, one among 1,000 to show unto man is uprighteous, then he is gracious unto him and said, deliver him from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom. His
Yeshua is
flesh,
the only ransom we're talking about now. But let's continue.
that's right. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth.
Okay.
He shall pray unto Elohim, and he will be favorable unto him. And he shall see his face with joy, for he will render unto man his righteousness.
So he's not speaking anything, but if we know what he's saying in general is not wrong. Even if you've done these wicked things, all you have to do is repent, confess your sins, and repent. And things will be all right with you and your Elohim. So that's not a wrong statement, but when you're applying it to Job, I don't think that's the right analysis. They don't know that's the wrong analysis.
Verse 27. He looketh upon man, and if any say, I have sinned, and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not, he will deliver his soul from going into the pit, and his life shall see the light. Lo, all these things worketh Elohim oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. Mark well, O Job, hearken unto me. Hold thy peace, and I will speak. If thou hast anything to say, answer me. Speak, for I desire to justify thee. If not, hearken unto me. Hold thy peace, and I will teach thee wisdom. So, that's what, you would say.
Yeah. He's trying to teach. He said he's doing his best to teach Job something. He's just, Job will just not yield in their mind. Job has not yielded yet.
That's right. And he's not going to yield to none of them. None of them.
And that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is the trial. This is part of the trial as well. You see, when we go through trials, people, a lot of times, people may think this of us right now. They just may not say it to us. That we're seeing Job is enduring. Hey, y'all stop. That's enough. Y'all eat.
They're coming at him.
Off my boy. He knows what Job is going to try that brother. This is what he told Satan. Have you not considered my servant Job? See, that brother, Yahweh didn't, like I said, we just reading the story of Job, and it said Job was a great man. Well, it's like we said, we didn't hear the whole story. We don't know the trials that Job went through prior to this. Exactly. Job didn't just become the situation that he's in.
Superman.
We're just reading it as is. So there's more to the story, and there's more to the perspective. Okay, there's more to the perspective, understanding that. Okay. Yeah, there's more to the perspective, understanding that Yahweh will allow us to go through things. We're supposed to go through things, and you'll have people accusing you and surmising all type of this is what the situation is, and we have to learn to not let that distract us from what it is that we have to do. And so this is part of it's something else that I extract from what Job is going through. He's defending himself, and he should not bow down his integrity to those men.
Absolutely.
Now he submits to Yahweh and accept the trial that Yahweh has given him, and accept that this is what Yahweh, win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna praise you. And that's all he can do, is accept it. But to the men that are coming there trying to make him bend down and yield to what they're saying, he doesn't have to cower down to them. They're not in the stead of Elohim. Yahweh said if he wants to speak to a man, he'll speak to him through visions and through angels and through dreams, and he has various means. Yahweh know how to get to him. But did Yahweh send those men? You see what I mean? When you look at this whole situation, we know that the in this whole ordeal. So Yahweh is allowing these things to take place. So we can take from this also that Yahweh is going to allow us to go through things. And when we're going through, even when our friends are accusing us, what are we going to do? Are we going to maintain our integrity? And Job is maintaining his integrity. He didn't tell him, he ain't, we're going to see at the end, Yahweh going to tell him, say, hey, man, y'all bring that sacrifice to my servant and let him pray for you. And had not
Well,
Job done that, Yahweh said he wouldn't even been entreated of them
well,
had
I
Job
was
not done that.
praise God. I was we brought it up before. You have a situation where Yahweh is telling Satan, have you considered my servant, Job? And we know what's happened after that. But we brought up again where we had the Messiah and we had a weakened Peter who made a confession that he wouldn't leave the side of Yeshua, right? He's gonna die with it, and all those things Peter said. But what did the Mashiach tell Peter? Satan has inquired and wants to, I'm paraphrasing, but Satan has inquired and he wants to sift you, Peter. And he said, well, and I hope you make it. I hope you withstand. I know you're gonna be good. So you got a situation where you got Peter, the rock, Cephas, the stone. He's going to go, and we're going to see what Peter's going to go through. Cephas goes through, or Peter. But then it's that, you see that analogy. So you got the Father doing one thing, Father here, and then the Son is telling his disciple, hey, Satan's already asked to sift you, man. He gave him a heads up. You're going to go through something for this gospel. You got to go through something. You got to go through something. And I look at the same thing. They want, as you said, they want Job to accept his punishment. But that's not the case, because we're going to find out. But when you go, just briefly, when you look at Leviticus chapter 26 in verse 40, where Yahweh is talking about Israel, now that's now that we are in sin. See, we are a sinful nation. And in verse 41, it reads, is anybody there? Read it. And that's a situation, they're trying to make Job accept something, but this is but when we look at us, look at where we are. We're the ones got to do it.
Leviticus chapter
What
26,
verse
verse
Go
4.
ahead, Evan.
You started 41.
440, yeah, I paid about 40. If thou shalt confess their iniquity,
Yeah, that's better.
and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me,
Go ahead and confess, Job. Okay, let's keep that in mind.
and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity.
Yeah, you can just pretty much stop right there. So we know we as a people got to do this. This is what we have to do. But now they're kind of put Job in a similar situation, and this iniquity that they're saying that Job has done, they want him to confess to something that the facts don't support, that he's done all these things. So, and rightfully so, Job should not confess. He should hold in his integrity, because that's what people have you do when they want you to, look, go ahead and confess the deal, and we'll take your life without less pain. In some countries, that you can be a political prisoner. Go ahead and confess, and we're gonna unalive you. So, but if you go ahead and sign this document, confessing all your sins, confessing that you've broken all these laws against the state, we will promise that your execution will be as painless as possible. So you want Job to just go ahead and confess it. It's the same thing his wife did. Why are you holding yourself up in your integrity, Job? Just what? What is that curse? What is that? Curse Yah
curse, and die.
and die. Take
Mm-hmm.
the execution. Let it go on. Just die, man. But here we go again. Poor brother Job maintaining his integrity. And it can be, like you said, Deacon, it can be from any number of people or circumstances, but particularly if you're in a spiritual warfare and the enemy has been given authority to bring the pain to you. Now, if he got that authority, then Yahweh wants you to go through it, as you said. He wants you to go through it. How are you going to respond? Are you going to maintain your integrity in the Most High? Or are you going to just give up? But let's continue 34, man.
This is Job chapter 34, verse 1. Furthermore, Elihu answered and said, Hear my words, O you wise men, and give ear unto me, you that have knowledge. For the ear trieth words, as the mouth tasteth meat. Let us choose to us judgment. Let us know among ourselves what is good.
Okay.
For Job has said, I am righteous, and Elohim has taken away my judgment.
There it is.
Should I lie?
Now that's what I'm saying. Now this is what they're saying. Job is self-righteous. After everything has been said and done, their analysis. Well, Job, you're self-righteous, and Yahweh has taken away your judgment. Yahweh's wrong too. You just righteous. Okay, let's see.
Verse 6. Should I lie against my right? My wound is incurable without transgression. What man is like Job, who drinketh up scorning like water, which goeth in company with the workers of iniquity, and walketh with wicked men?
Oh my God.
For he has said, it profiteth a man nothing that he should delight himself with Elohim.
Now you see how people can put words in your mouth? You see how they can
Therefore,
put words in your mouth, brother? You know, we ain't seeing what Job said, anything like that, but that's what they're inferring for him defending himself. See, you don't have to say nothing, and there's nothing new under the sun. This happens every day in the world, in America. Every day, someone is being falsely accused
it
for
happens all
something.
over the world.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Verse 10. Therefore hearken unto me, you men of understanding. Far be it from Elohim that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to ways.
Elder Wright, I'm sorry, Elder,
Yea,
you're right. So that goes back to
surely
what you were
Elohim will
saying.
not do wickedly.
This goes back again to what you were saying. Yahweh is sovereign. The law was made for men. This Yahweh is sovereign. You're trying to say what Job is going through or doing is somehow the way attached to Yahweh. You don't know Yahweh's sovereign. You see the conclusion and think, okay, this must be something from God, from Yahweh himself. That Yahweh is doing it and don't understand that the bet is on and that the adversary is doing it and Yahweh's allowed him to do it. To say, here's my servant. Don't kill him, but you can test him. You can do all those things you're doing to him. And you can bring his friends to lambast him further with unfounded accusations. But they're putting themselves, should Yahweh, that this is happening to him based upon his iniquity. And Yahweh's not a sinner. It's not. It's circular reasoning. But continue. That's why you brought it up earlier.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. Yea, surely Elohim will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Who has given him a charge over the earth? Or who has disposed the whole world? If he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust. If now thou hast understanding, hear this, hearken to the voice of my words. Shall even he that hateth right govern? And wilt thou condemn him that is more just? Is it fit to say to a king, you are wicked, and to princes, you are ungodly? How much less to him that accepteth not the persons of princes, nor regardeth the rich more than the poor? For they all are the work of his hands. In a moment shall they die, and the people shall be troubled at midnight, and pass away. And the mighty shall be taken away without hand. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings.
Mm-hmm.
There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. For he will not lay upon man more than right, that he should enter into judgment with Elohim. He shall break in pieces mighty men without number, and set others in their stead. Therefore he knoweth their works, and he overturneth them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others, because they turned back from him, and would not consider any of his ways. So that they cause the cry of the poor to come unto him, and he heareth the cry of the afflicted. When he giveth quietness, who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him? Whether it is done against a nation, or against a man only, that not, lest the people be ensnared. Surely it is meet to be said unto Elohim, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend any more. That which I see not, teach thou me. And if I have done iniquity, I will do no more. Should it be according to your mind, he will recompense it, whether thou refuse or whether thou choose, and not I. Therefore speak what thou knowest. Let men of understanding tell me, and let a wise man hearken unto me. Job has spoken without knowledge, and his words were without wisdom. My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men. For he addeth rebellion unto his sin. He clappeth his hands among us, and multiplieth his words against Elohim. A lot of
Yeah.
accusations.
Well, I just sit back at this one. I was just listening to that. I'm just listening. That's all I could do on that one. Just take it in. Whatever anybody, Elder,
Yeah,
you
I'd
go ahead
like to.
and take it on, Elder. Then I just came in, but go ahead and take it on, Elder. I'm just listening. That's a
Yeah,
lot of stuff there.
that's through Eliyahu. You just have to listen to him because he was listened to both party. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah, that party accusing Job of committed sin when he didn't
Right,
commit it.
right.
So no, he listened to them both, and then he listened to all the things that Job said, and he's just chiming in. Hey, I want you guys to listen. This is what I've observed. So he's spilling out everything that he have observed so far. But Yahweh is the judge. We just have to, wait until what Yahweh have to say about it at the end. We can go from there because Yahweh will always be the judge.
But it's his position. Really, we thought Elihu would do you would thought he would have a different assessment of a little bit from Job's friends. But he started out, maybe we was under the hope that he could show us something else. But did he really say anything different from what they're saying?
Well, he still continued because he asked both Job, and the other elders to listen because he's the
Right,
youngest one out of the group or
right,
the speaker. Yeah, he's the youngest one.
right.
So whatever he observed, whatever spirit Yahweh has given to him, he asks him,
What time is it? Okay.
yeah, to
But
be quiet, let him speak. So I know you have a lot more to say, and
yeah. Uh,
pick it up in
y'all
verse.
want to finish it up or just take it to
No,
37?
we can take it to, well, maybe, yeah, so that we wait until when
So
Yahweh
we'll come back on 38 when we can start with
yeah,
Yahweh and Job.
intervene. Yeah, when Yahweh intervene, you're gonna see, a lot the open up, our eyes and see what really going on.
Okay.
You
So do
know.
you want to do 35, Deacon?
Yeah, I'll do 35.
Okay,
And
Elder.
yeah.
Let's
Oh,
continue to see, because surely he has to have something better to say than the other brothers, because he listening, he got his own opinion, he's assessed the thing. Let's see what he's
mm-hmm.
going to continue to say. Because what he said here, he said Job spoke without knowledge, and his words they had no wisdom. He said, Job, what did he say? My desire is that Job may be tried unto the end because of his answers for wicked men, because and I wrote in my Bible, I put it says, for he had added rebellion unto his sin, and he clapped his hands among us, and multiplied his words against Elohim. Well, daggone it. Let's continue then. Let's see.
You
Well,
see,
how much more can Job take?
I,
Let's see.
again.
Eli,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, Elder.
No,
Go
what I
ahead,
was
Elder.
gonna say, the Messiah said not to rejoice, of someone falling. So I just wanted to put that right out there and watch what's going on next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deacon?
Yeah, I was saying that the Elihu is supposed to be coming
That's
in
what
as
I
a
thought.
neutral party, and some of the things that he's saying is neutral, but he's also fallen in line with the same accusations that the other three brothers were
Yeah.
accusing Job of. But what he did say that was edifying, he said something in verse 32. 31, he says, surely it is meet to be said unto Elohim, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend any more. Verse 32, that which I see not, teach thou me. And if I have done iniquity, I will do no more. So he's telling Job, so him making that statement, at that point, he was making a neutral statement that basically coming unto Elohim, it says, surely it's meet to be said unto Elohim. It's a good thing to say unto Yahweh, I have borne my chastisement. And if I did something I don't know, show me what I he's coming. It's like he's torn between the two because he's trying to be neutral, but then at the same time he's still drawing in and getting sucked into the bias that the brothers already had about Job. And so he's kind of defending them, bashing Job, saying, yeah, you did something. And then he even accused them of being wicked and is looking for him to be judged and to say, yeah, you deserve to get what you're getting in that sense. But it's like he's wrestling with dealing with being neutral and
And I
with
would
judging
take,
Job. And it's like he's torn between
okay.
the two.
And
So, it seems like it's like
right.
good cop, bad cop. Like they playing the bad cop and he playing the good cop, but they still coming with the same agenda, trying to get Job to confess to something that he
Exactly.
didn't do. And to make him yield and say, yeah, you just like say, uncle, you're going to say it one way, whether I come this way or I come
It
that way.
seems like these brothers are skilled. This is why it's written in such a way. You got
Yep.
skilled orators, and it's written because a skilled speaker is going to insert something like that in there. He inserts that. We say, well, you know what? Yeah, this is like an escape clause, Deacon. I can say this to make it sound. It's like somebody tell you, they say something like, hey, don't take no offense at this. Well, you're getting ready to be offended. They're getting ready to insult you. So he's almost like he's saying if he's really struggling with it, or he's just basically laying the analysis out to set him. Okay, I'm going to set it up now. Yeah, you don't born some stuff, Joe, but if you could tell me something, like you tell me what else could you teach? If I ain't right, if I'm wrong, tell me whatever. But I don't think I'm wrong because it seems like you can't give an answer. It is really it is problematic as you read it. It's it is a great writing. It is a great literature. It's the truth, but it's written in such a way. The dialogue and the discourse is perfect, because it's something that you could put in a discussion with somebody. I'm gonna give you something. You follow me? I'm going to yield a little bit to you, Job, and then he comes right back and takes everything from it and wraps it up and say you should go on down. Yahweh should judge you to the maximum. I said, my
Um,
goodness. But let's continue. Thank you, Deacon.
yeah, before I move on to, I think, chapter 36, back in chapter 33, I think it was verse 30. Not verse 30.
Chapter 30.
No, no, 33. He said, oh yeah, 32. He said, if thou have anything to say, answer me, speak, for I desire to justify thee. So that was meant like a question.
Yeah.
And to Job, but Job still hearkened. He's listening to the young blood. He's using. So Job is also in peace, and Job is listening to the words that Eliyahu is saying too. It's not to say he's accusing him, but
Yeah, he's listening. Yeah.
he's listening. So we're gonna have
It's interesting, but I'm trying to help you, Job. Give me a
yeah.
little something.
Give me a little something. But
Give
Job
me a
can't
little
give
bit,
him
man.
anything.
Come on, I can get them off your back.
Yeah.
That's something else.
All right.
You can go ahead and continue, brother.
We're in chapter 35. Eliyahu speak moreover and said, thinkest thou this to be right, that thou said, my righteousness is more than Elohim? That's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For thou said, what advantage will it be unto thee? And what profit shall I have if I be clean from my sins? I will answer thee, and thy companions with thee. Look unto the heavens and see, and behold the clouds which are higher than you. If thou sinnest, what dost thou against him? Last part. Or if thy transgression be multiplied, what dost thou unto him? If thou be righteous, what giveth thou him? Or what receiveth he of thine hand? Thy wickedness may hurt a man as thou art, and thy righteousness may profit the Son of Man.
Mm.
By reasons, I mean, this guy is intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
Verse 9. By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry. They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty. But none said, where is Elohim my maker, who giveth songs in the night, who teacheth us more than the beasts of the earth, and make us wiser than the fowls of heaven? They cry, they cry, but God giveth answers, because of the pride of evil men. Surely Elohim will not hear vanity, neither will the Almighty regard it. Although thou sayest thou shalt not see him, yet judgment is before him, therefore trust thou in him. But now, because it is not so, he has visited in his anger, yet he knoweth it not in great extremity. Therefore does Job open his mouth in vain. He multiplied words without knowledge.
So stop defending yourself, Job, altogether. Just shut up,
Mhm.
confess it, and be quiet. Let's let's continue, Deep. If we can. I think, well,
We're in
I
the
want to
book of
stop
Job.
here. Oh, go ahead, continue, Deacon. We're good. I didn't hear you, Deacon. Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Job, chapter 36, verse 1. Elihu also proceeded and said, Suffer me a little, and I will show thee that I have yet to speak on Elohim's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
I will fetch my
Okay.
knowledge from afar, and will ascribe righteousness to my Maker.
Okay.
For truly my words shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with thee. Behold, Elohim is mighty, and despiseth any. He is mighty in strength. He preserveth not the
Um, but Deacon, I think your wavelength is out for a little while. Deacon, I will pick it up. Verse 6. In the book of Job, chapter 36, verse 6, he preserveth not the life of the wicked, but giveth right to the poor. He withdraweth not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he does establish them forever, and they are exalted. And if they be bound in fetters, and be holden in cords of affliction, then he showeth them their work and their transgression that they have exceeded. He openeth also their ears. Okay. Go ahead and pick it up at verse 10.
Yes,
Continue, Elder. I
verse
think he
10.
still got a little.
He
Okay.
openeth also.
Okay. Yeah, you going in and out, Deacon.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
If they obey.
All right, we're saying we have a little
Can you not
Yeah,
hear
we're
technical.
me?
having some difficulty. Let's go ahead and continue in verse 10, Elder Uriah. And then
Okay.
hopefully when he gets that together, he'll jump back in down the line.
Verse 10. He opened also their ears to discipline and commandeth that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasures. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bindeth them. They die in youth, and their life is among the unclean. He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and openeth their ears in oppression. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place, where there is no straightness, and that which should be said, and thy table should be full of fatness. Verse 17. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee, because there is wrath. Beware lest he take thee away with his stroke. Then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. Desire not the night when people are cut off in their place. Take heed, regard not iniquity, for this hast thou chosen rather than affliction.
You know, Elder, I made
Mm-hmm.
a note here at some point, and I wrote a question. I said, is this really true? Elihu sees Yah, all of them, in a limited manner. And they contend that Job is a sinner and is suffering as a result. They have put Yahweh, like you said, they put him in a box based on where they are in the law, the understanding, and their culture, and can't go beyond anything else that's taking place because that Yah hasn't revealed it to him. Because Job can't turn around as he said. He asked Job in chapter 35, "Hey, teach me, tell me something else, and just tell me." But Job can't go no further because Job doesn't understand himself. He doesn't know why, what's going on in heaven, why that he's known of Yahweh, and that the Satan has ask Yahweh to do these things so he can afflict them for the bet. The bet's still on. The wager's still on. So this is not, so they, even now, they still look at Yahweh, Yahweh's sovereign, but Yahweh just don't do, he ain't gonna just put you through something to be, and we know that much, but there's his ways are not our ways. Why did he let Job go through this? But Yahweh's ways are not our ways. We're just flesh. And we need, as you said earlier, we need the law to live. But Yahweh, this is those are his instructions for you to live by. But here, it's the same old limited position. And they got they got Job in a straitjacket yet again. But that's all I want to say.
Can pick it up at verse 22, Deacon.
Can you hear us?
I don't know. We're in the book of Job, chapter 36, verse 22. Behold, Elohim exalted by his power, who teacheth like men, like him, who hath enjoined him his way, or who can say, thou hast wrought iniquity. Remember that thou magnify his work when men behold. Every man may see it, man may behold it afar off. Behold, Elohim is great, and we know him not, neither can the number of his years be searched up.
We know he's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh is great. Elohim is great. And we know him not, and you don't know him. See, you don't know isn't that something? We know he's great, but man, you can't search out the knowledge of Yahweh. You don't know Yahweh. That's why the prophet said, you don't know Yahweh.
Yeah, you cannot know Yahweh. He's forever. We are just for a time T.
A myth.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You do not know Yah. Let's go. Nor can you. We know he's great, but you don't know him. Oh, that sounds like an oxymoron.
Absolutely. Are you back, Deacon?
Deacon, he can see us.
27.
He's still having a little difficulty.
Yeah. When Job chapter 36, verse 27. For he maketh small the drops of water, they pour down rain according to the vapor thereof, which the clouds do drop, and distill upon man abundantly. Verse 29. Also can any understand the spreading of the clouds, or the noise of his tabernacle? Behold, he spreadeth his light upon it, and covered the bottom of the sea. Praise Yah. Verse 31. For by them judgeth he the people, he giveth meat in abundance. With clouds he covereth the light, and commandeth it not to shine by the cloud that cometh betwixt. The noise thereof showeth concern concerning it. The noise thereof showeth concerning it, the cattle also concerning the vapor.
Just go ahead and wrap it up, Elder Deacon.
Okay, I'm going to go for, why not? We're in the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 1. At this also my heart trembleth, and is moved out of his place. Hear attentively the noise of his voice, and the sound that goes out of his mouth. He directed, in the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 3. He directed it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth. After it a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay them which his voice is heard. Elohim thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things doeth he, which he cannot comprehend. For he said to the snow, Be thou on the earth likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength. He sealed up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work.
Hey, Elder,
Then, go ahead.
I heard someone, now what's the formula for water? They say they have a chemical breakdown for water, right? What's the,
All right, H2O,
yeah, but no, yeah, we got a formula, but nobody can't out here
oxygen,
make it no more. They can't make
hydrogen. Eh?
none. They can't make no fresh water. They can
Well,
say they can,
they need to stop polluting the water.
they got H2O. You can say that we know what is compound, but we shouldn't be any place without water. If you can make it, you should go ahead and do it. You see, even if you know Yahweh's so great, you might even know how it's set up, but you can't replicate it.
No.
You still can't. You can't even replicate Yahweh. You can't even. He could tell you this is what it's done, but can you go back? But do you have the power and ability to even do it, to replicate it? See, that's what man and Satan is always trying to do. We want to replicate life. We want to be a God too. See?
Absolutely.
If you see, and that's what you see on the earth. All they're trying to replicate. The prince of this world is trying to replicate or present that he is the Most High, that he can bring life, he can do this. No, he can't. But the people that follow him are deceived, and that's what they want to do. But but Yahweh's too great. I think I said even about this water and everything. Once the fresh water is gone, you can't make no more. They can say they can do a lot of stuff, but yeah, can you really? And
They're trying.
will Yahweh allow? The only way that happens if Yahweh puts that bitter wormwood in the water. That's for another time. But continue, my elder.
In the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 7, he sealed up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. Then the beasts go into den and remain in their places.
See, a man can only do so much. You
That's
seal
right.
your hand.
That's
You
right.
feel me? You can only do so much.
We have our limitation.
We got our limitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verse 9. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the breath of Elohim frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. Also by watering he wearied the thick cloud, he scattereth his bright cloud, and it is turned round about by his counsels, that they may do whatsoever he commanded them upon the face of the world in the earth. He caused it to come, whether for correction or for and or for mercy. Mhm. We get you back, Deacon. You want to pick it up at 14?
No, it's fine, Elder. I don't mind. Verse 12. And it is turned round about by his counsels, that they may do whatsoever he commandeth them upon the face of the world in the earth. He causeth it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. Hearken unto this, O Job, stand still, and consider the wondrous works of Elohim. Dost thou know when Elohim disposed them, and caused the light of his cloud to shine? Dost thou know the balancings of the clouds, the wondrous works of him which is perfect in knowledge? How thy garments are worn, when he quieteth the earth by the south wind? Hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Shall it be told to him that I speak? If a man speak, surely he shall be swallowed up. And now men see not the bright light which is in the clouds, but the wind passeth and cleanseth them. Fair weather cometh out of the north, which with Elohim is terrible majesty. Touching the Almighty, We cannot find him out. He is excellent in power and in judgment and in plenty of justice. He will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respecteth not any that are wise in heart.
Oh, thank you.
Praise Yah.
Thank
Praise
you.
yeah.
Praise
Praise
God.
yeah, sir. We have a great class, and at this time, we are going to stop at chapter 7. Yah's will pick up where Yah intervened in 38, and we will learn a lot. But we thank also that Yahweh for sending our elder, to yeah,
Last minute, but praise God.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'd rather you come on the ship at the last minute more, not at all. Yeah, the last boat.
Mm.
We
The
all
last
need.
moment.
Yeah, we need that ride. We need
I
that
got to
ride.
get on it.
Yeah, you got to get on it one way or the other. So, but we are, we appreciate Yahweh allowing all of us, the guests and everyone. So at this time, I'm going to stop this Shabbat class, a discussion, and we're going to go to the elder for anything first, and then to the deacon.
Well, thank you, Elder Uriah. This has been a great survey of the book of Job. We're learning so much. Every comment, every response, it's just opening up a new spiritual more spiritual meat, as you're saying, because as you said earlier, we keep the commandments. The commandments are there, but it's not the whole. It is much more, because as you open up the commandments and all the other laws, it is a world is full of spiritual things, and we have to. This helps us to see that we should not limit Yahweh or limit our experiences. We need to reflect on the things that we go through, the good days as well, not just the trials, but reflect on how good when you're, this is a good time. If you're in your right mind and you're in good health, you got shelter and clothing, and you're not in want, you can say that you're at peace. You may not have $1 million. That's not the issue. But this is a good time to reflect on that mercy, because that's letting us know Yahweh has put a protection, a hedge around us and our families, and we should always be conscious of that and be thankful of that mercy, because things could change instantly. And we just pray that Yahweh continue to watch over us and to keep us. But this study definitely brings me to be sober minded, my elder, just to be sober minded about life. Thank you.
Praise Yahweh, for those advice also, because we have to plant this foundation very, very firm, that
Amen.
move us, and we see it in the action of Job. We have to be very, very firm on these words. But Deacon, I hope the internet is okay.
I see him
What's your
moving.
intake?
I think
Yeah.
we'll just give him a second
Praise
to
Yah, my elder.
refresh. There he is.
Praise Yah, elders. Yeah. It was a great reading. A lot to be gained from the story of Job in reflecting, and it's a lot to glean from this reading. So we just praise Yah for him allowing us to be able to take our time and read this book so that we can actually gain what we're supposed to gain from it. We see that there was a lot of judgmental things happening. People were passing judgment on Job, and all of this had to happen. For this is real life. This is what lets us know this is not a tale, but this is what happens every day to people.
Amen.
The minute you're going through something, that's exactly what people are saying against. People be wishing for your fall. Quiet is kept, and a lot of times it'd be joyful to, it's a blessing to be experiences, because Yahweh will show you, hey man, them people ain't there for you. and so it's a lot of things that may need to be manifested. So a lot of times we don't want to go through trials and through bad or what we deem as bad,
Right.
but even what we call an
Right.
accident. You crash your car, they say that's an accident. Well, Yahweh might have saved you from dying. It could have been something that you might have been going. It's called danger seen and unseen.
That's right.
So we're not in control of nothing, and this is what is the humbling aspect of reading the book of Job. We're not in control of anything. And Yahweh, like we said, seeing the sovereignty of Yahweh and that He does as He pleases, like my elder said, it should be sobering, it should be humbling to all of us to understand that. And the more we understand that, that's where faith. That's why He said the faith is the substance of things hoped for. So if you see the fullness that will play out, then you don't need faith. So this is where Job is. Job has wisdom and he's perfect and he's this, that in Yahweh's eyes. But Yahweh is showing him there's more to the story. There's a little bit more to it. And this is
That's
what
right.
I'm gleaning from it, that there's more to it. And if we think we understand, Yahweh will show us
Hmm.
now, but
Right.
there's more to
Right.
it. Let's live a little longer and He'll show us. So age has
No.
nothing to do with it, because it's if you don't receive from your experiences or learn from them, repeating the same
Woo.
thing
Yeah.
over and over. Because we suffer for our sins. So a lot of times we may repeat things and go over because we ain't get it yet. Like my elder Yaakov used to say, that like Yahweh will keep bringing that thing on us because we ain't get it yet. We didn't get what we're supposed to get from that matter. But praise Yah again. For also, if anyone would like to receive their baptism, please do reach out to us and we can take care of that business for us. You can reach out directly, or you can reach out on the social media platforms, any one of them. Also, we apologize for our delay in posting the holy days. Um, we have to review the days that we've been given and to make sure. So we know everyone needs to make arrangements with their employers and what have you. So we ask for your forgiveness we ask for your forgiveness in the fact that we've taken so long to post and update our dates. And Yah's will have those so that everyone can plan and make their moves accordingly. I did want to read one thing in the book of Second Timothy chapter 4, which kind of this is what I received from the class and Job's experience. This is the book of Second Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. I charge thee therefore before Elohim and before the Adonai Yahshua HaMashiach, who shall judge the quick or the living and the dead at his appearance and his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of your ministry. And that's all I got, my elder. We're gonna endure. We're gonna go through things, and this is what we've been prepared for these things. Our master went through these things, and the servant is not greater than his master. So if Yeshua suffered and he did no sin, and we know that we're sinful rags before Yahweh, then we should expect to go through trials and tribulations and be joyful that Yahweh didn't kill. The joy is that look, He didn't kill you, and He allowed you to survive, and so now we can learn from that experience and be touched by that experience, and maybe share with someone else what we've learned and gained through Yahweh's mercy of allowing us to endure tribulation. It says, "Blessed is he that endures tribulations and
That's
temptation.
right.
Blessed is he." But that doesn't seem like a blessing when you're going through it. But it is. Amen.
Hmm.
So praise Yah. Praise Yah. That's all I got, my
Pra-
elders.
Hey, thank you, Deacon. Thank you, Deacon. Thank you, Elder, for those, wonderful and great commentary, you produced for this media that Yahweh has given us, to minister to His people. And I have nothing, more to add to that. So with that, I want to say Shabbat Shalom, not only to our elder and deacon, but for all who have joined us today in this broadcast. Shabbat Shalom, and the Shabbat is not over, so enjoy your Sabbath. That's all.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom,
shalom.
elder. Shabbat shalom, deacon.
Shabbat shalom, elders. Shabbat shalom, family. Praise Yah.